Check, check. Hello. Can you hear me now? Oh, can you hear me now? Hi. Hello. Hi, guys. Okay. That totally worked. All right. We have audio. Fucking A. All right. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, technical difficulties. All right. So I'll just remove that. All right. So, hi, welcome everybody. I was just basically welcoming everybody. Susan Dolan, Sci-Fi Sith Dan, Miskatonic Madman. Definitely want to say a shout out to William Shake Spielberg. You were here from the start. Glad to have you here. Right there. Thanks for being here, William Shake Spielberg. Yeah, all kinds of Daniel's Hot Topics is here. Hi, thanks for being here. Yeah, the trailer for X-Men 97 was great. All right, I want to see that. I haven't seen it yet. Um, thanks for being here, everyone. Susan Dolan, welcome to you. Thanks for being here. All right, and we have volume. Yes. All right, awesome. We have sound. Okay, so I was saying hello to everyone. So this is a Thursday night travel stream again. So tonight we're going to do Japan, and I lived in Japan for a year teaching English, and then I went back for another half a year just to visit my friends that were there, both Japanese and Western, and yeah, so spent a fair bit of time there. I learned a little bit of the language. Speaking is easier than French because there's no past or future tense. If you just for basic Japanese, you don't need to conjugate verbs. So there's no different endings for masculine or feminine or singular or plural, which simplifies everything. But writing is a different story. This is a kanji symbol. There's three different alphabets. Hiragana and katakana, I can understand. The third alphabet, kanji, those are the Chinese symbols, the pictograms. They're really hard. Apparently, this one means nothing, as in I am nothing. I think that means Zen. You know, the Zen religion. The whole idea is to become nothing. So I think a Japanese friend of mine gave this shirt to me. She's a dear friend of mine, Oguro-chan. If you're out there. So yeah, this means nothing. I am nothing. This is Zen. Uh, how were the Japanese women? The Japanese women are fantastic. Absolutely. The Japanese nurses that I became friends with were fantastic. No, they were older. They were like my aunties. They were fantastic. They liked to eat. They liked to drink. They were fantastic. Um, and the Japanese girls, the girls my age, I didn't associate too much with. Now, when I came back to Whistler, I practiced my Japanese with a girl that I eventually ended up living with for 12 years. But she was fantastic. But let's start the slideshow, hey? Let's start the slideshow. There we go. All right, folks. This is there are so many temples in Japan. They're everywhere. And this one was outside of my where I lived in Kitakogane. I lived in Tokyo teaching English. I was there, like I said, for about a year. Northeast of Tokyo on the Joban train line, and Kitakogane was one of the cities that's on that train line, and this is their temple. What year was this? This was a Miskatonic Madman. I've been to Japan about 4 times since then. I first was there in 2004. 2004 was when I was teaching there. So yeah, it's been quite a. But I've been there many times since then. See, okay, there's me 20 years ago, and that's in the. Now, when I went to teach English there, the company that I worked for, Nova, which was the biggest company teaching English in Japan at the time, they provided you with housing. So this was the living room of the house that I lived in, and you can see the TV behind me with the VHS tapes. Yep, and the VHS recorder is in the TV. You slide the tape right into the TV, right below the screen there. And yeah, that was me 20 years ago. Teaching English, folks. Teaching English. Okay, so this is a local. Everywhere you go in Japan, there's little temples or little graveyards or little religious sites in the back alley somewhere. So this was a graveyard, a local graveyard that was just around the corner, and where these were. Now these are statues, stone statues. You can buy them at your local shop for your graveside memorial, and you can have smaller ones. And they put them. It's some sort of a. I think this was children's week or celebrating children, and so they decorate them in red. And I believe that commemorates the children to remember all the children that may have passed away before they should have. So that was unique. That was interesting. Very local. And when I got there in the summertime, I got there in April, and in the summer they have a giant festival. I lived in a town called Abiko, starting with an A, Abiko. Abiko is a pretty well-known town. It's on the train line going out to the airport from Tokyo, and they have these giant floats being pulled by guys with ropes and through the streets, and they have fireworks and food and beer, and it's a giant celebration. And this is a food stand in the street. These pop up all over the place, and this is a takoyaki stand. Taco meaning octopus, yaki deep fried. I guess is the translation. So the octopus, which is right in front of you, you can see the red pinky octopus at the forefront, and he puts them in batter, chops them up, dips them in batter, and then puts them kind of like it's like a half like an egg, like a frying pan for eggs. You can see the little round indentations, and they just drop the dough batter with the octopus inside, and it's called takoyaki. And it's like a timbit for those Canadians out there. It's like a donut ball with octopus. It's actually quite good. I like it. Sci-fi sit down says Canadian Spider-Man. So is Stark of Iron coming, or are you saving him as a surprise? No, he is en route. He's a busy guy, as you can imagine. He's en route. He will be coming. He's just on his on the way there. He's definitely coming though. Yeah. Not worried about Tony at all. He'll show up. And until then, we're going to look at some takoyaki, octopus balls, octopus donuts, if you will. Very popular in Japan, really popular. And you know what? Maybe it doesn't sound great, but if you like calamari, it's got that texture, same as calamari in a donut. And you know what? Delicious. And so there, kimonos during the festivals in Japan. Any kind of festival that's going on, the girls in Japan, I believe Miss Katanic Madman was asking about the girls in Japan. They take this opportunity to dress up in the traditional kimonos, and these are very expensive. It's like a Scottish kilt almost. You know, I bet you that's $1,000 each one of these kimonos. Really, really fancy, really popular, but only for festivals. You don't see this normally every day Japan, but this was during a festival. So, the summertime fireworks festival. So, uh, there we go. William Shakespeare says, Canadian Spider Man, how did you feel the Japanese food was health wise versus American diet? A lot of seafood and the deep fried stuff that they did have, like the takoyaki that I was just showing. Um, their oil seems lighter. It's not a heavy oil, it's a lighter oil. And it seems like the breading is also like panko. You can buy that here in Canada. Panko. It's a bread crust that goes over a lot of your deep fried stuff, like tonkatsu, the pork cutlets. Um, the breading is lighter, the oil's lighter, so even the deep fried stuff seems healthier. In general, overall, except for the alcohol, you would lose weight in Japan. You tend to eat healthier, a lot more uh, fish, less carbs, less bread, although they do have sweets. They have beautiful French bakeries, which I do have photos of. Um, but the problem is the alcohol for me personally, because it's available everywhere. And of course, there are carbs in alcohol, as much as I tell myself that's not true. So during the festivals, they have these floats which are being carried or pulled by these guys in sort of a costume behind them, and everyone is up on the float there, and they've got microphones and lanterns and batteries, and they parade through the streets for, well, pretty much all night. Pretty much, the Japanese know how to party. They're like the Mexicans. They all night, all night. So these guys ride around up on the mikoshis, they're called, and I'm not a native, so I could be wrong on a couple of these things, but I believe that is a mikoshi, which is a float basically, and the guys pull it around or carry it around, and they sit up on top, handing out liquor and just celebrating. Canadian Spider-Man says sci-fi. Sit down. How have you been to the giant fish markets and seen the giant fish? Yes, sir, I have in Tokyo, the Tsuki uh, fish market, and I have photos of those. Absolutely, the giant tuna, 6 and 7 and 8 feet long, that they use industrial band saws to cut. So yes, I have been to the fish markets. Absolutely. Uh, there are takoyaki pans that you can make at home. Takoyaki home. Yeah, pans that you can buy and make takoyaki at home. Fantastic, Susan Dolan. If you manage to make some, I will give you my address so you can send some. In Japan, they have vending machines everywhere, and they will sell you everything, including cigarettes and beer. I have photos of both of those things, Susan Dolan. Hey, yes, you're spoiler alert, Susan Dolan. Daniel's Hot Topic says they sell some Japanese sweets at my local home sense, and I got some. They taste good. Yes, they do. I love Japanese sweets. Absolutely. Although the ones sometimes they look like chocolate, but they're not. They're a red bean paste called anko, and it looks like friggin' chocolate, and it's not. So again, this is for the festivals, and everything's handmade. All these decorations hanging down from the floats are paper and wood, and they're all handmade. And they end the night in the summertime. There's so many summertime fireworks, and every town will have their fireworks celebration going off. And so if you go up on top of a tall apartment building, which I've done here, one of my fellow teachers lived in a 7-story apartment building. So we went up on top of the roof, and during the summer, random weekends, there will be towns within view, because you can see 4 or 5 towns on the skyline, just having fireworks festivals. And this was the first year that I had ever seen purple. If you can see in the middle there, the Japanese, I think, were some of the very first people to start using purple fireworks and electric neon blue. So I had never, being from Canada, I'd never seen those before. I mean, Vancouver has some fireworks, but so that was impressive. Really enjoyed those. The summertime festivals in Japan. So this is a temple, and everywhere you go, you turn and you follow down a little path, or you turn a little corner, and you stumble upon a temple, and it's There's a few religions in Japan. When they get married, it's surprisingly kind of Catholic, but they do a lot of them follow the Shinto religion, and so this is the temple here, and those red and white candy cane stripe uh, ropes hanging down. You pull those, and a bell goes off, and apparently you do that 3 times, and you step up to the altar and you say a prayer, and apparently that's how you do that. Okay, and it's I'm a little blurry, but behind me, don't bother looking at me. Giant frigging drum. They now so this is in northern Japan. So I met some, like I said, some of the nurses that I met. One of the nurses in particular was like an auntie to me, Ogura-chan, and she came from up north in Japan, Aomori, which is on the mainland across from the island of Hokkaido. Hokkaido has Sapporo as the capital city, and that's where Sapporo beer comes from. So I went up to Aomori, and they are famous for a giant parade with giant paper mache floats, and it's called the Nebuta Festival. And they have giant drums that they pound on as part of this parade. And so we went and saw the giant drums, and my friend Ogura-chan took me around and showed me these giant drums, and it's a tourist attraction. The parade, the festival is only for a few days in the summer, but outside of those times, you can go and see the floats, and it's a very famous festival in Japan, and people come from all over just to see the drums and the floats. So there's one of the floats there. This is all paper mache, and it's lit from inside, and that is apparently an oni. An oni is a demon or a devil. Really giant ears there, and although he keeps his nails and toenails fairly trimmed, so that's nice to see. There's another. That's a giant float. It's illuminated from inside. It's wood and paper mache, and just incredible the way that they can do this. And they carry these through the streets and pull them through the streets for a few days in the summer. Or the Nebuta festivals towards fall. Actually, it's the end of summer, towards fall. And here is one of the statues of one of the devils or demigods that they had at the shrine, the temple site there, up in Aomori in northern Japan. And there is, northern Japan. It's mountainous. The further north the further south and the further north you go in Japan, it gets more mountainous. Um, yeah. So Aomori is famous for this Nebuta festival, and they pull these giant paper mache illuminated floats through the city, and it's incredible. Very famous in Japan, and you can go to this food stall here, this lady here, and she will sell you these fish barbecued on the stick. There's some wood burning in the middle there, and scallops. You can see the round scallops behind. Love scallops as an East Coast person. So there's little sardine type fish and scallops. Yeah, she's happy to sell those, and that's part of near the festival grounds. Any time of festival or celebration in Japan, there's always going to be food vendors. You will never go hungry in Japan because they're always celebrating something, and there's always food involved with the celebrations. And Daniel's Hot Topic says they sell some Japanese sweets at my local home sense. Yes, you're darn right. I did read that already. You're darn right. They taste good. I love Japanese sweets and the food everywhere. So this is off the highway in northern Japan, and this is just rice fields. And here they've harvested it up and bunched it up, ready for collection, and it is pretty scenic. It's hard to take a photo in Japan that doesn't have a highway or a road or a power line somewhere, but this is a pretty good one in northern Japan. And yeah, this is I'm assuming husband and wife team, and it was just the two of them there, and they were using this machine to harvest the rice. And they pick up the rice. The machine picks it up and cuts it up, and then that pipe at the top, it just spouts it off into a truck that's waiting there on the side, and it just puts the rice out the chute right into a truck. So, and it's pretty compact, pretty small, and yeah, that's how they do that. Ooh, and that is fantastic. That is again. I'm holding up a little tiny fish in the left hand upper corner. If you that, and you eat the bones. When you eat those fish, you eat the head. You pop that whole thing in your mouth. And hey, look who's here! I told you he'd be here. Hi, Tony. Oh, it looks like you are muted, Tony, but that's okay. He looks like he's setting up some stuff. So yeah, that is typical Japanese. A lot of soups in Japan, and you can see the at the upper part above the pink spiral. That's the pork, and the pink spiral is probably some sort of soy based pasta of some sort. Tony's here. There's some bean sprouts and noodles in there. Kanji, the part in the middle, right below the pink, is called kanji, and that's like a gelatinous type. I think it's made from soy, actually. Hey, Tony, can you hear me? Are you there? Okay. So Tony is having some technical issues. He's gonna drop out right now, but that's all right. Hi, Tony. Oh no, you, I can hear noise, but you it sounds like you're talking chipmunk. Everything's very accelerated. Not sure what that's about. Yes, Tony was ambushed by some alien insect. That's exactly what it is. Susan Dolan, yes, very good. Yes, ramen, indeed. Yeah, it, it, yes, that's it. Miskatonic Madman. Tony, you've been attacked by Sabu. So Sabu has control of Tony's equipment for some reason. Hopefully that gets resolved. See, I can hear you talk. I can hear you making sounds, but it sounds like a squirrel. We can't really, yeah, hard to say, but yeah, again, like the squirrel. Okay, he'll be back, folks. He'll be back. Okay, so here's the rice machine that I was telling you about. Right from the rice paddy, right into that truck. There you go. In northern Japan, the rice goes right through that conveyor, right up the tube, and right into the truck. What an efficient way to do that. Brilliant. All right. Tony will be back. He's just having some technical issues, but he will be back. So let's continue on with the show. No, that's not it. No, there we go. That's the one. All right, so moving on. Okay, so this is actually a seed pod, a fruit of some kind in Japan that falls from trees, and it's got a sack in the middle with all these little black seeds in it, and that's some sort of natural casing from the tree that falls down to the ground. So that's not food. I mean, it might be food. I didn't eat it, but that falls just like that from the tree, which I thought was interesting. Hello, Tony Stark.
Is it working now?
No, I can't hear you.
Are you messing with me?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, I can hear you just fine.
No squirrel, no chirping, none of that.
No, I don't. It sounded like
Good.
Sabu had infiltrated your base there, my friend.
Beautiful. Good. Glad we got that figured out.
Thank you for joining. Susan Dolan says I watch a couple of
You started half an hour early. I thought we were going to start it together. I missed some stuff. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I just started the.
I couldn't get off work quick enough.
I was just. Yeah, no, you're fine. I started a little bit early, and I was just going through some photos while people were waiting for us. Yeah, Tony will be back. Susan Dolan says, I watch a couple of creators from Japan and a young Chinese man who tours around the world eating. That's how I know this stuff. Yes. Oh, I travel on my stomach, Susan Dolan. Absolutely. I travel on my stomach 100%.
Is everything working okay now?
Yes. Sure is.
I don't know what's going on with my fucking system.
Well, I'm assuming it's something from the dark underworld, Sabu, or could be Harvey Cthulhu. So moving on, this is northern Japan, folks, and it is gorgeous in northern Japan. It is absolutely beautiful up there. This is Aomori, which is up north, like I said, and good snowboarding up in this area. Pretty mountainous. You okay, Tony? Oh no, Tony, you've gone all chipmunky again. You were good, and then you went chipmunky. That was weird. Okay, so this is a pagoda in up north. No, Tony, I can hear you attempting. I can hear you talking, but it's just coming through like chipmunk noise. So I'm gonna pop you back out, and then I'll. How's this? Did that work? Nope. All right, he'll be with us again, folks. I can hear Tony. Yeah, no, he was there, and then we can hear you, Tony. But then no, it's an ongoing battle with the alien insects. Gremlin Stark. It's well after midnight. We do feed the critters after midnight. Was it? Nope. No, still chipmunky. Yeah. The alien insects are back, says Susan. Yep. Oh, you were doing so good. We almost had it, folks. Nah, you just sound like an insect chipmunky thing, unfortunately. Sadly. So yeah, unbelievable. Now this is a famous temple site. Oh, hey Tony, I can hear you now.
Can you?
Yes. Yeah, I can totally hear you now. Fantastic.
Amazing.
Yeah, what are you okay? What happened there?
Stupid stuff, I guess. I don't know.
It is stupid stuff. Yeah. Okay.
I think what happened is something messed up with my audio filter that I was using, and it may have ruined my my hard work with my Bill Cipher and my Radio Demon edits that I've done. And if that's the case, then I'm going to be very upset. First, I lose, not to be a Debbie Downer, but I lost my PayPal. It's been hacked, and YouTube is not giving me the watch hours that I know I got. Having a wonderful day, having a great day.
Do you have all 10 fingers and toes?
Yeah. Don't give me that perspective BS. So what are we looking at? Looks like
Man, that's why I love you, Tony. So yes, this is in and too bad Harvey isn't here. He could translate. Indeed, Susan Dolan, don't touch anything, says Miskatonic Madman. That's always good advice. So a part of Tokyo, and Tokyo, those people, it's hard to describe Tokyo. It's not just one big city. It's it's not like Toronto or New York or Vancouver. It's more like New York, where New York has 5 or 6 different cities conglomerated together. I mean, each of them of their own would be cities, right? Like Queens would be a city of itself anywhere else in the world. So Tokyo's similar. It's a ring of cities, and this is one of them called Asakusa. And Asakusa is famous for this temple right here. And you have food stalls and gaming stalls on the sides leading up to the temple. And people go and they pray at the temple, and they pull the big ropes for the prayers, and they offer and they bathe themselves in the incense. Tony, you know, with the incense, you bathe yourself in the smoke in a lot of Asian cultures, and
yeah.
And so that's
It's supposed to be a
very
cleansing. It's supposed to assist meditation as well.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I knew it was a cleansing ritual, but it's also meditation, according. And see, here's the incense, and see this person right here is cleansing themselves with the smoke. And I don't know how heavy that brass cauldron is, Tony, and how much that would be worth. That's a very nice brass cauldron, and that it was solid brass as far as I could tell. I don't even know how you
gorgeous cauldron.
And there's the temple from the other side, outside of part of Tokyo on the outer rim, Asakusa, on the northern end of Tokyo. Oh, there I am.
Hello.
That looks like a giant piñata above.
Oh, that lamp?
Yeah. This is the biggest Japanese lantern I've ever seen. And here we go. Here's part of Tokyo again. And how would you like that? Living in Japan on a houseboat right on the river. I could live with that. Hey, look who joined us. Auntie Dirty.
Hello, Joe.
Hello. I was busy doing things, but this is so great. I'm so glad you're streaming on Thursdays. Me too, Jill. And if you recall, our friend Cardinal Sin streamed on Thursday nights.
Hail Gil.
Hail Gil streamed on Thursday nights into the Fringe. And so Thursday nights, I'm going to do a travel show. Simply because it was this man right here that convinced me, or it didn't convince me. It didn't take much convincing, but he planted the seed, the idea of me going on YouTube and going in front of a camera, heaven forbid. So Thursday nights is for Gil. Jill, you got that right. So every Thursday night, I'm going to pull up a different country that I've been to, and we're going to take a look at some pictures and shoot the shit. And Tony, thank you. I know your time is valuable, and I really appreciate you joining me.
Sorry I couldn't be here earlier. I was hoping to get off, but
we've just been going for like 15 minutes, man. Not a problem at all.
Well, I said I was going to be here at 3:30 my time, which is
you did
11:30 your time, and you said you were going to start at midnight and start early on me. Maybe we got our math wrong
a little bit.
But it's okay. kind of upset about that filter. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Well, I'm glad we can hear you now. A piñata, they probably wouldn't like it if you did.
After the
No, they
show,
wouldn't.
before we part ways after the show, let me do some tests before you head out, okay?
Oh, we can test as much as you want. Yeah,
That'll put my mind at ease a little bit.
Oh, we can do that all upside
All
down
right.
and sideways.
Thank you,
And
sir.
since this is not your channel, I don't know about you. You don't have to divulge anything, Tony. But I am having this. Is
I
a
do not.
strong beer.
I do not drink on the air.
No, well, good thing you're not on the air.
We are on the air.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are. Nice try, but we're on the air.
All right, folks. So, yeah, this is again. Living on a river in Japan would be all right. Ooh, and see this now. I saw a lot of this, Tony. Specifically, five tier or 5 level pagodas everywhere, all through Japan. And I know five. I know 4 is a special number in Japanese in Japanese culture. 13 isn't necessarily, although modern times it has become.
Mm-hmm.
5 with the pagodas. It's always 5, and I don't know why. And here we go again. Giant temples with the giant lanterns made of paper, all handmade. So now this is going from Tokyo now over to the second largest city in Japan. This is Osaka. And the symbol of Osaka.
This is where we would. Osaka is where all 3 of us, you, me, and Fermented Cinema, would actually have semi-passable Japanese.
Yes, and the Japanese in Tokyo is different than the Japanese in Osaka.
Well, that's because it's so formal. Osaka, for those that don't know, Osaka's basically kind of like the South is for us in the States. Their Japanese is very long and drawn and slurred, and plenty of shortened words and whatnot.
More relaxed,
more laid back.
Osaka's more friendly. Yep. And do you know? When you're going up the escalators, and there's escalators everywhere in Japan because Japan is nothing if not convenient. In Osaka, you stand on the left side of the escalator, and because everyone can pass you on the right hand side because they're in a hurry. Mm-hmm. But in Tokyo, everyone stands on the right hand side, and everyone in a hurry walks up. If you're blocking the do not block the escalators in Japan because there are people in a hurry. They will pass you. They will push you out of the way. So you have to, on Tokyo, you stand on the right side. So there are definite distinct differences. And Osaka and Tokyo are in a competition with each other, sort of a rivalry, if you will, Tony.
Mm.
And this is the symbol of Osaka, which the locals and the girl that I was partnered up with, engaged to, really. Lived with her for 12 years. This is where she's from, the Osaka area. And the locals here, this is a symbol of Osaka that the city officials thought would be symbolic and bring pride to Osaka. But the locals living in Osaka just call it the Golden Turd for obvious reasons. Kind of backfired. Okay, so this is Sapporo beer, and this is all alcohol. Everything in front of you is alcoholic. You can buy beer, you can buy ciders as well, are in there. Some pear flavored ciders.
There's also the dreaded canned sake. Never go for the canned sake.
The
canned sake
strong.
Is gross.
Yep.
The canned sake is completely and utterly gross.
It will
get the lukewarm sake in a bowl at a spa or something.
Japanese
get it served right.
Ray.
Get it right. Get your sake served right. That canned shit, that.
So this, if you notice, Tony, there's a slot in the middle there to put your money, to put your coins, and this was 200 yen, so about $2 for a beer.
Cheaper than beer here.
There's nowhere to put your ID in this machine because they do not check for ID. They just
No.
trust that if you're underage, you're not going to do it. And they don't, for the most part.
Well,
Nothing in that machine
they
to check your
they
ID.
believe in punishment after the crime, not before it.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Because now,
Okay.
if a drunk hoodlum that's underage is caught, they will, be punished. But they don't, IDing people before they sell beer is punishment before the crime, according to their philosophies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so this is local. This is a local temple in my neighborhood. I lived in Abico.
And yes, that was a Buddha fertility. But moving on.
And yep, this is another. So this is winter time or fall in Abico.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a local. Well, yeah, it's
Fertility.
they sell granite statues, and this is a fertility statue. And you put that on your. I guess you buy that, and you give that to your significant
You
other.
put that in your rock garden, because most
put that
statues,
in your rock garden.
Rock garden or your lawn.
Yep.
To represent,
I should have made this the thumbnail for the friggin' stream, Tony.
Then YouTube would have took it down, even though it is a very cartoonishly enlarged phallus. It is still a phallus.
What do you mean they'd take it down? I'm not monetized. They can go fuck themselves.
No, they could take, it's not considered nudity because it is a statue, but you're probably going to get an email in a few minutes saying that this has been automatically bumped to 17 plus.
Well. Oh, no, I restrict my videos to adults only.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Always.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay. I would like to know that sake in a can compares to pizza in a cup over here. What's pizza in a cup?
Oh, God.
They have that in America? What is pizza in a cup? We don't.
I want to give Admiral T pizza in a cup. I know he's never had it. And he lives in New York, but I want him to suffer.
He's a New Yorker. He shouldn't need.
I want him to suffer the pizza in a cup.
Oh, Seven Samurai. Yes. Love Seven Samurai. Hey, Ray Lucard. Good to see you, buddy.
Tonic Madman said, "Rock garden,
rock hard." Hey, everybody.
And then Ray Lucard goes on to say,
Jill, it is hard.
Ray Lucard goes on to say,
Bionic.
Hey, Beavis, check out his schlong.
Okay. So in the north of Tokyo, or northern end of Tokyo, is a part of Tokyo called Ueno. That's where the Last Samurai film had the last battle between the samurai and the modern army. So that took place in Ueno. So there's a train station there now, and it's the biggest one in my area. And so these monks, these Japanese religious monks, go and they just sit there and they hold out their little dish. And they take a vow of poverty, and so you give them money, and they buy food with it, apparently. And that's not an uncommon sight throughout Japan. And
there is a big divide between modernism in Japan and traditionalism.
Yes.
And depending on where you go, determines the kind of people you'll be around.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh, ramen. Oh, Jill, you wait. We've got photos of ramen, traditional, authentic ramen.
I was wanting to mention that you had that, miso soup and tempura there, but at that point I still had, demonic squirrels attacking my microphone.
Yeah, right. Yes, you did have demonic squirrels. Sabu, it's Sabu fucking with you. The jerk.
Listen, I'm not at the castle right now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe the radio demon's angry at me for not paying attention to him because I had to work today.
Well,
I don't know.
Maybe you need more flux capacitor power.
Oh no, I run off of a flux capacitor, sir. Yeah. And I require 1.21 gigaflux in order for it to run.
Love the jerk, Steve Martin. Absolutely, what a good movie. Ramen noodles in a cup is wretched. Yes, as a ramen aficionado, real ramen noodles, I agree with
Yeah,
that
good. Yeah,
sentiment.
if you can find yourself a ramen booth, hold on to
Oh,
that. We have a ramen booth where I live, very local, very small
hidden.
joint, but it's never open during the winter. Um, so yeah,
So
it will be
summer.
open. It'll be open in a month and a half, and that's where I
Oh,
go and I get my ramen.
Japanese ramen. I love ramen noodles. I've walked hours at night through the streets of Tokyo in the middle of the night looking for ramen. So if you go south of Tokyo, there's a little place called Izu Hanto. The Hanto is peninsula, I guess, is the
Mhm.
translation. So Izu Peninsula, and it's where Commodore Perry and the Black Ships first landed in when they first opened up Japan to trade. And this is that peninsula and that coastline, and it's just gorgeous, and it's volcanic. Um, Mount Fuji isn't that far away from this area, so it's volcanic, and there's a lot of hot springs, natural hot springs. And this is one that I stumbled upon in a town called Dogashima, spelled dog, D-O-G, Dogashima. And the hot springs are right, the thermal hot springs, Tony, are right on the edge of the cliffside
You went
onsen.
there. I'm
Yeah,
so jealous.
cliffside hot
Did you
springs.
get real sake served there?
Oh, I did in the town of Dogashima. Yes, I did. Not in the
Yeah.
onsen itself. I didn't do any drinking in the onsen itself, but cliffside, and that's about 300 feet or 200 feet down to the ocean there,
Hmm.
right to the Pacific. So there it is. There's the thermal hot water, the
Yep.
onsen water, the hot bath, right, and there that wall is the only thing between you and that 200-foot drop on the cliff is
Is
that
that
little
wall?
wooden fence and that those rocks in the retaining. Yeah, there I am right there, and behind me is a 200-foot
Yeah.
drop off the
That's
cliff.
when I would be wanting my dish of sake in that
Yeah,
hot spring.
yeah. And so this is the man's side, Tony. So to the left is the changing hut, and it was small. And this is the man's side, and on the other
Mhm.
side is for the women, because you're not supposed to wear any
Co-ed.
clothes.
No, you're supposed to be naked.
Yeah, well, I am. Just
Co-ed
awkward.
springs.
Yes. Oh, this is a giant Buddha. Why is it cutting the head off of this photo? That's no bueno.
That
Oh yeah,
looks
so
like it's made out of pure jade. May have a little copper in it. May.
I
Not
think
no,
it
it's
is a
copper. That's faded copper.
that is a there is copper in it. This is
Yep.
this weighs 126 tons of bronze, which is made mostly of copper and brass. It is a giant Buddha. They call it a Dai Butsu. Dai means big. Dai Butsu, giant Buddha, was 126 tons, folks. That's also just incredible. Japan has a thing. They are Shinto. They are Buddhist. They're a mix. They get married and it's very Catholic. The funerals are also kind of
Mhm.
Catholic. I went to a funeral there. Unfortunately, I didn't want to, but I did.
There's Shinto, which is the
Shinto.
most dominant. Then
Mm-hmm.
there is
True.
Zen, which follows Shakyamuni Buddha and his teachings. And then there
Yes,
is
and the Buddha is
Then
Zen.
there is
The Buddha is very
Daishonism.
Zen.
There's Daishonism, which is the Buddha of the self. It's a more radical sense of Buddhism.
Mm-hmm.
It's that if you've watched it was the one of the rare occasions of Daishonin Buddhism is in Mad Max Beyond
Ooh,
Thunderdome when
love
Whitney
that movie.
Houston's character had the beads and was chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. That's Daishonism. That's
But that's not huge. That I don't think that's a
no,
big
that
push.
is very much the minimum form of Buddhism because it takes the core principles of established Buddhism and reflects it upon the self. And if you're chanting the to a Butsudan or to something of that nature, you basically the way they believe it is if you're chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, you are tapping into your Buddha, your established Buddha form of yourself, your true reflection.
Because we all have the
And
Buddha potential in ourselves.
it is a form of vocal meditation and chanting.
Hmm.
And the only reason why I know so much of this is because back when I was very, very young, and when I didn't, when I questioned God and was experimenting with religions, I fell into that bit of philosophy for a little bit, but I've long since returned to God. But the philosophies, the philosophies, that are established while I was soul searching, while I was finding religion, they're very interesting, very, very zen.
So
Very,
how's
very
this for an
zen.
interesting dessert? This is a Japanese dessert, and yes, that's just bread. Yep, that's just bread,
Bread.
folks. Bread with the whipped cream and the chocolate sauce.
Short, sweet,
That's
and
a real
simple.
dessert. Yep. Go daikin means big giant. Go means 5. Dai is big, so 5 big kin. Yeah.
Gyrobitai is mostly gold daikin. It's close. It's close.
Giant robotoids are mostly
Wish we had
go
fermented here.
daikin.
He teaches English to Japanese students.
Ah, okay.
So
Ray Lucard. I knew
so
he was familiar with Japanese. So I had a feeling.
yes. Like I said,
I am not
Canadian
an expert.
Spider-Man, between us, we can have like very poor, very, very ramshackle Japanese conversations. That's why we
So
need fermented.
yes. So this is. Do you see the pink bag? This is 10 kgs of rice. 30% moisture, and you just put your money in on the left, and you can have a vending machine that gives you a bag of rice, 10 kgs. That's pretty heavy for 10 kgs for a vending machine. That's pretty impressive.
For 1,000 yen, $10.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not too shabby.
Okay, and
What,
here
it's a
again,
pound a minute rice here, like almost 15, 20?
no kidding. Yeah, you probably shrinkflation. It's probably not a pound
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
So there's a 7-Eleven in Japan, in Tokyo, folks. And the guy shoveling the snow on the left, he's got an umbrella somehow. He's holding an umbrella while shoveling, Tony. I didn't notice that before.
Huh. Probably got it tucked in between his neck and shoulder, like with the armpit.
Yeah, well, I think they make bathing suits for that. Ray Lucard does know some Japanese, but not sentences. Oh, sugoi. Sugoi means awesome. Sugoi means cool, neat. So sugoi, Ray Lucard. When you go watch fireworks show, and I know the few pictures, a few photos ago, I had a fireworks scene. When you go and see a fireworks show in Japan, all the English teachers there, we make fun because the only word the Japanese spectators say, it seems to us, is sugoi, which means amazing or fantastic. Sugoi. Oh no, that one's sugoi. Oh no, but that one was really sugoi.
Yes, sugoi. And another one that you'll hear often, especially at bistros or ramen shops, is oishi.
Oh, I don't know.
Stands for delicious.
Oh, oishi, oishi. Yep.
Hey.
I extend it because I'm new. Oishi. But yeah, the traditional Japanese speakers will just oishi. Hey, Lisa's here. Hey, good to see you, Lisa.
Lisa.
Good to see you, Lisa. Excellent.
Hopefully your day is better than mine.
Oh, yes, that does sound familiar. Susan Dolan, has anyone watched the Meijin movies about the giant stone statue that contains a demonic spirit that comes to life? Did it have a giant phallic thing out the front of it, Susan, is the question. Freaked me out at that age. Yeah, Miskatonic Madman, if you'd seen that giant stone penis statue, that would have freaked you out too. Oh, everyone saying hello to everybody. Lisa, hello.
Exchanging the friendly hails, which is
Yes,
always
good to have everyone here. Oh, we have everyone. So again, this is Tokyo. Um, at night, I
good.
mean, just densely populated. Like
Did you
anywhere
go
else.
to Tokyo Tower?
I did, sir. Yes, I
Oh,
did.
please tell me we haven't gotten there yet.
Do you know?
Like, is it in the
Do you,
photo reel?
it's in the photo reel.
Nice.
Do you know where this shot's taken from? Have you
I
seen
know
a Bill Murray movie that was taking place in Tokyo?
that is the hotel.
Lost in Translation is the movie.
Yeah.
It's Bill Murray, and it's not. It's
It's
the
not the
Black Widow.
exact angle.
It's ScarJo, isn't it?
Yeah.
ScarJo. It's ScarJo and Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson and Bill Murray
Mm-hmm.
in
Ghost in the Shell.
Lost in Translation,
Lost in
and
Translation. Yeah.
that came out when I was in Japan. So I purposely went to the piano bar
Mm-hmm.
in that hotel and purposely went there and took this photo. So that is from that is the scene you will see if you go to that very bar with ScarJo and Bill Murray. And there's just a random Tokyo street.
Notice how every building in Tokyo, even the not the large office structures, is very vertical, which it's a testament to the fact that the Japanese know they have very little ground to expand outward
Yes.
with their
So
with their metropolis.
good point.
They build skyward. They build vertically.
Yeah.
To compensate for the
Exactly.
increasing population and infrastructure.
Yep.
If it is 100 feet tall or more, Ray Lucard, if it is 100 feet tall or more, it is considered a kaiju film.
Ah, okay. Giant golems. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Carrying on. So how's that for a dragon statue? He's got some tooth issues there.
Nothing wrong with having some tusks.
But again with the bronze. Again, very big on the bronze statues. Wood and bronze seem to be the two materials. And I found this on a bottle of it's a soda beverage. A Calpis water.
Calpis water, so it's bubbly, watery. It's
bubbly flavored water, and it's try happy. And I just thought that would.
It's like try happy, try being happy,
right?
You drink this, you want to be happy. Try it.
That's very wow. Hey, look who's here! It's Admiral T.
Hey, we met. Hey, we're gonna serve you pizza in a cup one day, very soon, Admiral Teague. Hope you're ready.
Everyone says hello to Admiral Teague. Yeah, try happy, Tony. So what a good way to start the day.
What a good way to end my day. I've had a pretty rough day so far, so
well,
that made me smile. You did good.
Look how tranquil this looks.
God, just to spend a week there and not have to worry about being connected to the outside world would be
And people who think there's no nature in Japan,
you're wrong.
That could be a scene right out of British Columbia.
Go to Iowa Prefecture and then come back and tell me there's no freaking nature in Japan.
Okay, so this is an outdoor hot spring that I went to, and the hot spring water is pouring out of that spout on top, and you pay a fee, and you go and they built a pool around it. They built a fence around it, and you can just enjoy this natural fed hot spring, which is again in Japan it's called onsen. And beautiful hot water, naturally heated, and it was just scenic, all around Japan. Just gorgeous. Beautiful nature. There's a lot of city, there's a lot of buildings, Tony, but I also saw a lot of nature.
Again, there is that division, like I said before, and I meant it. I said there is a division between modernism and traditionalism, and depending on where you are, will determine the people you are around.
100, absolutely, Tony. Well put. Yep, absolutely, Tony. Yeah, I mean that's pretty gorgeous. So it's not all cities and pavement in Japan. And I was fortunate enough to be out and about in the fall, and it's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful.
And here's rice, the little
Hmm.
rice paddy growing again, and just all the garden. Like this is just you stumble upon garden after garden in just public areas and public buildings. It's just everything is meant to look pretty and beautiful. Speaking of pretty and beautiful, there
They
I am
respect their culture. In fact, the
in fact,
Japanese are quite homogenous in that regard. They respect their culture above many others.
well, and I don't want to get into politics here, but the Japanese are 98 point whatever percent solid. Everyone born in Japan, they don't do immigration,
No.
and they all. You're familiar with the expression "everyone rowing in the same direction."
Hmm.
Everyone in Japan is rowing in the same direction.
Yep. That's why their country is so efficient. That's why they're a market hub of the
Exactly.
world.
Yep, and
They
they are
know
not
what they know who
communist.
they are. They embrace their strengths. They challenge their weaknesses, and they overcome. They are the ethnicity of this planet that
That
has
will overcome.
overcome.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. And they appreciate the smaller things in life, the beauty. Absolutely. This is all um, just hydrangeas. I think these are hydrangeas. Someone in the chat can correct me,
Hmm.
but I think these are hydrangeas. And
Hmm.
and during hydrangea season, people just flock all to the famous parts of Japan to view the hydrangeas. Same as cherry blossoms in the spring in April. They just go and they take a week off and they go sit underneath the cherry blossom tree and admire the beauty. I mean, this is it. And again, every temple that I went to in Japan, where there was a temple area, there was always natural beauty incorporated into it, Tony. Whether it be flowers or a rock
Oh yeah.
garden, hydrangea. Yes, thank you, Ray Lucard.
And Lisa also agrees. Two gardeners in the house.
Yeah, I'm a
Lisa's
man. I don't
established
really
as
know
our as a
about
gardener.
flowers. I plead man on that count. Okay. Oh shit! It cut off the head.
Da-da-da-dun,
Damn it! I don't understand because I uploaded the full photo,
da-da-da-dun,
but that is Godzilla.
da-da-da-dun.
That is in Tokyo. That is in
Obviously,
Tokyo
it's
in Ueno, and you
yes.
can go and see Godzilla. And Tony, can you see the head, or it is cut off?
I
Isn't it?
cannot see the head, but
Shit!
that's definitely the traditional Godzilla model that we know
I
and love.
guarantee you that's Godzilla. Oh, okay, so there's an aspect ratio that maybe the photos need to be okay. Got it. And this guy, he was a legend. This guy was a ramen shop ramen master. He made ramen noodles by hand with his assistant there in the background.
He kind of reminds me of the Ichimaru ramen shop from Naruto. Oh no, my weeb is showing. I want to put that away. That anime geek in me better put that shit away.
Only in Japan, King Kogi. Oh wow, okay. Japanala. Okay, so Susan Dolan knows her stuff. Uni and Nami, The Adventures of Cat Sisters, Uni and Nami. Well, Uni is okay, that's Uni is the name of the sea urchin. It's a girl's name, but it's also sea urchin, which is delicious.
It's funny that both of the Nikos are named after fish.
No, they were not. What's that?
Nami and Umi, aren't those both sea critters?
Nami, I'm not familiar. I mean, I lived with her for 12 years, but I still don't fucking understand her.
Let me get a fact check on that.
Yeah, go Godzilla. Hey, thanks, Admiral Teague. He says, "You Blaze Runner." Yeah. So I just love this guy.
Nope,
I
no, it's
never.
a female name of Japanese origin that means beautiful red apple and wave. I was thinking it was a seafood name.
Wave.
See,
Right,
this is
because
why we need
tsunami
fermented.
is giant wave. Right. Tsunami is wave. Yes. Yep. Yep. There we go. And red apple. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was a female name. Okay, check this out, Tony. There's a watermelon in a department store. Department
Mhm.
store watermelon for 3,000 yen. 3,000 yen or N as the Japanese pronounce it.
$3.
Try
$3.
45 Canadian, 30 American.
Oh, 30 American. Oh, that's
That
one
is
zero too many.
That is 30 American dollars, sir,
Jesus.
for a watermelon. And it's not even that big.
They must like their watermelon.
That's in a department store. See, if you go to the bottom floor of most department stores, you'll find a grocery store. And it's very prestigious to be seen shopping in those grocery stores. And if you carry a bag of groceries home from those department stores, it's a status symbol. That's why you will pay 30 American dollars for a freaking watermelon. Isn't that nuts?
That's pretty nutty.
Godzilla is an actual citizen of Japan. I believe that to be true.
Yep,
Susan
he
Dolman.
is. Godzilla is a citizen of Japan. He is an honorary citizen.
It is comfort food. Agreed, Ray Lucard. I love my ramen. Ramen is. I will walk and have walked for hours for ramen. There I am. There. I'm not sure why I'm grabbing myself, but it's at a
Mr.
temple.
MH goes on to say about the square watermelon. Yes.
Yes, I did. I did see in that
You have
same
some
department
pictures
store.
of the cube watermelon?
I did see a square watermelon, and they grow it in a wooden box. They make
Yep.
a wooden frame for it, and they grow it in the box. So I did see that.
Bonsai box.
But seriously, I eat ramen like Goku. Man, I love ramen. I love ramen. Hell yeah. Good to see you, Mr. MH. Fruit in Japan is super expensive, and it's a gift. If you're going to someone's house, fruit is a fail-safe gift. You cannot go wrong by taking fruit of any kind to their house. Yeah, that is spendy. You're not wrong, Miss Katonic. Yeah.
Very
Holy
spendy.
crap. Square watermelons. Yeah, I saw one for 50.
Gee,
Saw one
50.
for 50.
That's cheap compared to that $200 price tag.
Susan Dolan says that's nothing. Japan has strawberries and peaches that a single one will cost $100 or more. It just depends on who grows it and how it's grown. Yeah, because they're very trend. Yeah, the Japanese are nuts like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all about where the name. It's all about the image. It's all about the face saving. It's very important in Japan. It's all about the image. So here we go in the temple, right around the corner from where I lived. In Abiko. This is Kita Kogane.
That's gorgeous.
Kita Kogane, and this is during the fall. And that's bam. See the trees on the right-hand side of that building, the temple there, Tony? Those are
Yes,
trees.
the leaning ones, yes.
Those are not trees. That's grass.
I believe it.
Bamboo.
That's bamboo.
That's bamboo, which is a form of grass, folks. Those trees to the right-hand side is bamboo, I believe. Yeah, because I walked through it. Yeah, the one leaning
walking through a bamboo thicket. That's cool.
Oh yeah. And this was just during the fall. I was walking around every day, Tony. When I was done teaching English, I would just walk around because you would just stumble upon little local shrines. In a given corner down an alley, and they were just gorgeous during the fall. I mean, Japan's latitude is sort of similar. Well, it's a very long and tall country, but Tokyo is sort of similar to Vancouver latitude, and so you definitely get a lot of the red colors and the beautiful colors.
Those are bright strawberry red.
Mr. MH says, I find the Japanese can complicate even the most simple food dishes. Yes, and they elevate it.
They just try to make it look pretty.
They do,
Can't
because
knock
it's
them
all
for that.
about the visual. It's not only about the flavor, but you have to stimulate your sense of smell, and you have to stimulate your vision. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Bamboo is hard, Ray Lucard. Yeah, if your dad tells you to go cut you a switch stick, you do not cut it from bamboo, right, Tony?
No, you do not.
I can't read those. Fucked if I know what they say. Oh, here. So this is as an English teacher, this is what I was dealing with. This is the English that they were learning. Can you read that, Tony? Do you mind?
What in Japanese or?
I'll read the
So
English.
I think I know about a third of that, but yeah, it says be careful for the door, not to be caught your hands in baggage. Yeah, their sentence structure is they put the verbs before the subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
They swap it. But if one thing I will say about Japanese is, despite dialects, which are very 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 slight differences, Japanese is a relatively simple language
It really
in
is.
comparison to English
Yep.
or American English or
Very much so.
English is very much become like modern American English has become a language that steals words.
Oh yeah.
Blatantly
We
steals.
borrowed it from that's why it's so hard to speak, because we
Yeah.
borrow it from every other culture.
And the only way that this language seems to get its point across is it throws one adjective before another, one adverb before another. And, oh, I got to emphasize this. So this is a very
Mm-hmm. Yep.
grandiose, big, large, huge thingamabob.
Yep.
You don't need all four of those.
No, but let's throw them in there anyway.
Yeah,
I feel like having a Dr. Pepper. What about you, Tony?
I'm a pepper too.
I'm a pepper.
You're a pepper.
I'm definitely a pepper too. I'm a redhead. I
She
still
kind of
have this
has that
can.
pepper pot.
This can. I saved this can. It's in my parents' basement in a
Nice.
container. I know it is.
Still
Yeah,
got the
I
soda in
don't
it.
know why. I have no idea why this was on the Dr. Pepper can in Japan. It just was. And
You
I'm
can definitely
happy.
tell it's Miss American Girl because you got the palm trees, got the
Yeah.
the convertible and the
The
surfboard
car with the
behind her.
surfboard.
The only thing it's missing is an American flag and a couple of assault rifles.
Exactly.
Everything else is right on the money for the caricature of
Mhm.
American in
So this is
Japanese.
a typical train. This is a train line, and as you can see, they do put a little bit of Japanese of English beside the Japanese. So what I did, you learn. This is a subway, a train line. So you learn to memorize what the characters for your stop look like, and you learn because sometimes the English isn't beside them. So you memorize what the characters look like for your stop, and then you're golden.
Well, it's just like at any glyph, regardless of the language, connotation of a glyph to something important in
Mm-hmm.
your life is doesn't require you to learn an entire language. It's just saying, okay, here's your glyph or your
Mm-hmm.
cipher for what
Right.
you need to utilize it for.
So this is the control panel, Tony,
Or Japanese toilet.
for a Japanese toilet. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yep.
sir. This is
Yep.
the control panel. And can you see
Yep.
the images at the top?
Yep.
Yep. So if you push,
So if
and
you're
I
a
forget-
lady, it'll shoot
I mean, you
at
gotta
one
try those
direction. If
buttons
you're a
out.
guy, it'll shoot at another. Yep.
If you're a guy, do not push the feminine button on the right hand side in the red, because that's a surprise.
That's a
let me tell
ball
ya.
scratcher. That's a ball
That-
splitter.
It's cold water, and in the winter it's quite cold.
Mm-hmm.
And this control panel, this toilet plugged into the fucking wall, Tony,
Yep. Oh, I know all about Japanese toilets.
scared the shit out of me. It's like, do I sit on this thing that's plugged in? It's
Yeah,
plumbed.
I bet
and
it. I
it's
bet it played you a
electrified.
nice somber tune. The lid opened by itself.
Yeah,
You
there's music
know.
on this. I mean, I
Yeah,
can't read
music. Yep.
Japanese enough.
Yeah. It's
I
like,
mean, I can read a
oh
little bit of
yeah.
that, but not much.
Oh,
Water
it's
pressure, I
very
can
mild
read,
ambience. It's very mild ambience.
but you can
It's meant
turn
to
up the
relax.
water
It's meant to
pressure.
relax you while you shit.
Oh, you can apparently you can. It looks like you can maybe increase the temperature,
Of
and
the
it
water.
plays music. It's
Yep.
like a space shuttle friggin' toilet.
Nope. I know all about these control panels, sir.
Do you mind reading this from Susan Dolan, please, Tony?
Chicken farmers in Japan have roosters with 6 or 7 foot tails, and there are contests of rooster crowing. The loudest crow wins.
Yeah, of course. Hello. Speaking American is easy, says Admiral Teague. I learned it as a child just from listening.
Well, that's about any
Allegedly.
like native, like if whatever language you're around, you're going to adopt and integrate.
Tony, and I know you're capable of this. Can you read Mr. MH's comment in the most offensive Japanese accent in speaking English that you can?
Got it.
Japanese English is hilarious. Some of the mistranslations, which are so common.
All right, I spit beer on my keyboard.
You asked for it.
I think that's on video. Me spitting beer is now on video.
I swear it's my Japanese accent.
Shit. The keyboard's all wet. Oh, that was funny, Tony.
He's a Kaijin Dono. Kaijin Dono menede baka bakame. Bakame.
Hi. Sugoi omoshiroi. Very funny.
Bakame desha Kaijin Dono.
Tabun daijobu. Maybe it's okay. Tabun daijobu. Fuck, that was awesome, Tony. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Hey, you get the mas.
Oh, this might be a long stream, folks. So I think these are little quail eggs that you can buy at the Family Mart collection.
Yep.
Apparently. I think those are quail. Oh, I like that one better. Quail eggs that you can buy at the local supermarket. And William Shake Spielberg says, and yet the vast majority of most popular rock, pop, country, and rap songs are written in English. That's true.
It's only
Well,
because
beer up
English
my
has
nose,
so many
Tony.
variations.
You're gonna be smelling beer all night.
English has so many variations.
True. Do you know by population, the proper way to speak English is with an Indian accent. Thank
Are
you.
you talking about the? Oh wait, you don't want any more offending
By
accents. don't you?
population? I mean, they have the majority, 1.4 billion. So they have. If you want to be democratic, their way of speaking English is the correct way.
Well, then I suppose I will have a big career in bill collection services.
Mm-hmm. Susan Dolan says, definitely an older movie because Keanu Reeves wasn't even a twinkle in his daddy's eye when this Japanese movie came out. Oh, well, he's slightly younger than I am. English translation for Tokyo Disneyland's Haunted Mansion is weird. I don't even know what that is, Ray Lucard. Something. You know what? I don't want to guess. I have a guess, and I'm not going to say it. I don't want to know.
Sometimes things are forbidden for a reason, young Luke.
Less is more, Tony. You do a really good old Ben Kenobi accent, by the way.
Oh, Alec McGuinness, yes.
Alec, he's Canadian, isn't he?
No.
No, I'm probably making that up.
No.
So here's some lovely sushi. Everyone recognizes that.
Sushi and sashimi.
Aye. And So that's why sometimes there's not English. So you definitely want to memorize the characters of the stop at your train stop. You want to memorize what the characters look like for your train stop. Cause
Admiral Teague says Alec McGuinness is a very British. Yes.
oh, okay, okay, right.
I thought
He
he
is a
was a
Brit.
knight.
Well,
Very well
Canadians have
thought he
very
was a
strong
knight.
ties to Brits. I mean, we're
But he's knighted, you see.
well. That's my very point, Tony, says William Shakespeare. To say that English doesn't need all the variety of adjectives and adverbs, and more importantly, multiple ways to construct sentences, music fans would disagree. Ooh, good point. Yes, music. That adds a whole different perspective on things. Music. There's one line here is inhospitable to happy, probably translated from our spirits haunt their best in gloomy darkness. Okay, that's the Walt Disney haunted house.
On Mansion. And now I have my baby.
Admiral Teague
in
speaks
my
English
hand.
and American and cursive. I speak cursive quite well.
You're on your way to speaking cursive right now.
I am disrespectful to dirt and stains.
Are you tough on dirt yet gentle on carpet there, Admiral T?
Well, okay, the chat got ahead of us here.
Yeah.
Have you seen the glass encased public toilets that when you enter the toilet, the glass automatically goes cloudy? I've heard of them. I haven't seen them in person. I've seen them on YouTube. Susan.
I have in my hand a child. One of my many children. Oh,
Okay.
oh my kitty.
Moving on.
It's a triangle to me.
So I don't know what this bus said, but I found it funny. It's a short little bus. It's a short bus. Rancor Steve, I don't know where you are, but you're probably on that Japanese bus.
I know Rancor Steve went to Russia. I think he went there on a mission.
Oh, yeah.
It was a missionary project.
Position? Yeah, I heard it. Yeah. No, I think it was a missionary position he took.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a good friend of mine, a neighbor of mine, and he did a yakitori shop, which is basically when you stick chicken on a skewer and
skewer and put it over a hibachi. Yeah.
Yep. So that's and you can try calling him. You can see if he's still there.
You can definitely tell it's a Japanese number. 8 digits, 4 each.
Yep, 4 each. What is the area code for Japan? Is it 70? I forget. It's been a long time. Okay, so here are menus, and the good thing about menus in Japan, don't be intimidated, folks. You can literally just point to the picture. It has the price in Roman numerals. Well, not Roman numerals, but our numbers. The Roman numeric system, and then it's got pictures of the food, so you can just point and you'll be fine. And yes, that's some more ramen. That is absolutely some beautiful ramen.
Some beautiful chicken. Oh.
Yep, with the and the egg, the seasoned egg is delicious. I love the egg. And here again, this is all liquor. And if you can read it in the back, it does say liquor in the top
liqueur.
Corner. Yeah, so that is all beer. It's all about $2 American, and there's no ID. You just put your money in and you get it.
Ding. Access granted. If you are underage, we do not recommend you consuming
Japanese
this product.
word.
Have a great day.
Japanese word for cat.
I didn't say Katu. I said Nico.
It is Nico.
No, ne baka.
Kuro Nico is
baka
black
me.
kitty. Kuro is black and Nico is cat. Black cat. Kuro Nico. Neko.
Now I'm going to hold my child again. Nope, she left.
with
She
seaweed
fucked it up.
seasoning. Yes. Ooh, good spotted, Ray Lucard. Yes, that absolutely was seaweed on the side. That big sheet of seaweed. That's important.
Mhm.
And the egg and the green onion. Yeah. And the salt brine, the broth. Absolutely. Good
The
eye.
brine.
So this is regular drinks. This is not alcoholic. And you can get hot and cold. So all the ones in red are hot. And all the
Mhm.
ones that are not in red are cold. So you can get hot tea, folks, from this vending
Yep.
machine. All the ones with the red label are hot. And the cold beverages are
Really easy to design one of those, by the way. You just polarize your condensers to where segments are really chilled and others are really warm.
and you use when you're cooling down beverages and you're taking heat from those beverages to cool them down, you take that heat and you could use it to put into the other beverages to heat them up, I guess.
Yep.
Use
All
it up
about
to
that
temperature.
airflow, baby. All about that HVAC. I think I saw a temple just like that.
I just ate it, Susan. Yeah, there lots. Every little corner of Japan has these just out of nowhere. These little shrines, and you know what, Tony? I'm not religious. I'm not religious at all. But I would go in. I would stumble. I would just walk down this alley because I love exploring, and when living in Japan, I mean, every day, even if I was tired, fuck it, I'd get up. I'd
It was
go
an adventure, yeah.
and I'd go and turn a corner and go down and hey, that alley looks sketchy. Let's go down here and find out what's down there.
You got
And
some
every-
skinny eyebrow yakuza coming up in a white suit going, guys, no.
I have a picture, Tony, of a Yakuza guy later on in these pictures, and you tell me if you'd be intimidated by him, because I thought he was a friggin' clown. Okay, so when you go to a temple, you're supposed to purify yourself with this long-handled wooden scoop and this water, and the dragon drips water into this container, and you pour water, and you drink from it, and you purify yourself. It's like holy water, very very pure. Very.
Spirit
You see
houses,
the dragon
yeah.
out there that on the right hand side that spills water into the thing.
Places for spirits to reside and or communicate. Yeah, Ray Lucard's got a point there. That looks like a spirit house. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so there's some squid in a package. You can buy this. I bought this out of a vending machine with the chopsticks on the left and a little egg. There's a squid that's been barbecued for you, and there it is. That's the picture, and there it is in the packet.
That's the lid, and that's the calamari, baby.
That's it. Yeah, you just eat that, and you know what? It was rubbery, but it was friggin' good. But it actually looks like the picture, folks. There you go.
No bait and switch here, like some of our fast food.
So one issue that I had, and so I took the bullet train from Tokyo to Osaka, and this is from the train. You can see a little bit of the reflection in the window there. But a lot of farmland, and this is really big. I mean, you can see the people in the foreground there. It's quite big, but everywhere there's always smokestacks. Like somewhere in the shot, there's always going to be a smokestack or
power companies
line.
and factories, or electric factories, actually, electrical components.
Yeah, you're probably right. Generating electricity. Yeah,
and microchips too.
See, in this
silicon
river
farming.
Do you see the banks of the river, Tony? How they're all reinforced with concrete, and that's for flash flooding and water control during tsunamis and things. But even the rivers weren't really natural anywhere near a town. They were all lined. Like, how long would it take you to line a friggin' river with concrete blocks like that? And they were all like that. Crazy. But gorgeous. Like, except it's beautiful countryside, except there's always a friggin' power line in the way, or some sign of
not to mention you're traveling well over 280 miles an hour too.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
getting any kind of shot lined up is going to be very difficult. You were better off taking small videos.
Don't tell the squid about Japan. Exactly.
Oh, that squid.
Yeah.
The one who probably had a little bit of resonance rubbing off my back from my misfortune for today.
We even own a factory that makes small models of factories, says Admiral. Of course you do. So, and again, this is from the train, just like in the middle of like tall forests or these old houses, and they looked really old. I didn't see any new houses in Japan. They all look
No, they're
old.
traditional homes. These are
Traditional,
probably
yeah.
more
Yep.
traditionalists. Like I said,
Yep.
a lot of these farmlands here, you got the rows and whatnot. You're out in traditionalist country.
Yep. And again, this is going over a bridge, but I managed to get the shot. That's the shot I was looking for. Just gorgeous scenery, Tony. Gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go right down to downtown, urban city. Very urban, very packed.
Yeah, now we're seeing some more of those street level markets. I was about to say, you got the pretty stuff. Where's the ugly stuff?
Yeah, well, I tried to mix it up, Tony. I didn't just put pretty pictures in here. You know, if you want to see the real Japan, there's some ugly in here. And shrines along the sides of the streets here. You can see people just putting little religious statues out and sort of little tiny mini shrines. And here's if you see this is a pub. Go into here. It has the menu with pictures on the right hand side. You just point to the pictures. If you don't speak Japanese, that's fine. And you can see a plastic display case there, glass display case with actual plastic representations of the food that look delicious. You can point to that as well. And so on the left hand side, Tony, if you see, that's a vending machine. Yep. And it has pictures of all. You don't order your food from a waitress. You push the button on the left-hand side
and then go in.
Out comes your receipt on the bottom and your change, and you go in and they know what you've ordered because you pushed the button.
Very mechanical, very, very efficient.
Mm-hmm. Do you mind reading this from Susan Dolan?
Did you ever eat at a vending machine restaurant? They have oven mitts, grill tongs for hot foods, and a tray to put it on. If someone tried doing that here, the mitt, tong, and tray would be stolen. Yep, because they would return them into a receptacle to be washed by a dishwasher, and sent back out.
No, I did not get a chance to go to any of those. No. I spent a lot of my time in some of these these like this is automated. Like you push the button of the food you want, and that's pretty much automated. But I spent a lot of time in Japanese pubs, which are called izakayas. So the izakaya scene was really attractive. I love Irish pubs. I love Japanese pubs, izakayas. Absolutely. Just love the scene. So there again, okay, there you have the ramen noodles with see the brown rectangular shapes on the right hand side are bamboo, chopped bamboo shoots, and then you've got some pork and some green onion, and it looks like on the right hand side you've got those eggs that were dipped in soy sauce again, and they usually put them in the soup, and this time they put them on the side. Which is weird. They don't often put them on the side because they don't stay warm when they're on the side.
All right.
Okay, and this is Osaka. So I took the train to Osaka, and this is Osaka, the Dotonbori district. It's a famous night scene where everyone just
goes. Oh, yeah, it's a nightlife. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nightlife. It's just you go and you eat and you just see the night scenes going on here.
Oh, no. You just say go and eat and see the night scene. No. Let's be honest here. This is where you go to get a nice hookup. This is where you go to get drunk and sing karaoke.
Yes.
This is where you go to sing karaoke and then lose
Yes.
all of your money with a hookup later.
I
Then
kept
you
my
eat with
money.
what you
I
got
lost my
left.
glasses. I had to wear contact lenses last week in Japan because I'd lost my glasses. Yeah. But I did keep my money, fortunately.
Yeah.
But I did lose my glasses. And it was because of sake. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in
yeah,
Osaka,
you're pulling me.
this is the giant tower that's a landmark in Osaka. And if I had been on top of things, I would have researched the name of that tower. It's probably named after a corporation of some kind, but that is the giant symbol along with the giant golden turd that I showed you earlier. This is another symbol of Osaka with that giant tower. And they're so the highways are so immaculate, and they've got the precise writing on the highways. It's just
Oh
fantastic.
yeah, Japan is like
Like
20 years ahead of us, dude.
complex.
And Singapore is like 5 years ahead of that.
Yeah, if that was Canada, the road salt would wear off all of that paint. You wouldn't be able to read anything. Right? Exactly.
This is the future, sir.
Mm-hmm.
That's why whenever you see movies like Blade Runner or you Cyberpunk, kind of like games and stuff, it's very Asian, Japanese at the forefront.
A lot of Japanese, yeah.
Yeah, it's because they are often seen as the symbol of the future.
Yeah, oh yeah, very futuristic, very forward-looking, 100%. Okay, so this is this is a temple that I came across, and in
look like
Osaka.
You stumbled across a couple of Oni.
That's exactly Oni is devil in Japanese, folks. Tony's right. Those are Oni, devils or demonic spirits in Osaka. And again, you wander around drunk at night and you find these temples. You find these giant these temples that are, and there was no one there. There's no one there, and I just wandered around, and it's sort of, I'm not religious, like I was saying earlier. I meant to finish that sentiment. I'm not religious, but I appreciate a space where you can just be quiet and meditate, I guess, would be the closest.
Meditate or pray.
Or pray or whatever you want to call it. And this was in a shopping mall, which is the opposite. They're trying to sort of replicate the Japanese temple kind of god spirit, but this is this is in a shopping mall, and he's golden.
Well, that's because that is a symbol of fortune.
That's right. And you want to spend the money. Absolutely. Okay, so this is again the takoyaki, the octopus, the deep fried octopus balls with the mayonnaise.
Dancing octopus.
And you see those little pink flakes? Those are fish flakes, and they're shaved so thin that when the heat comes up from the deep fried octopus balls, the heat rising up makes the fish flakes kind of move and
dance
in the heat, and they dance, and they're called dancing fish flakes. Yeah, katsuoboshi. Katsuoboshi is dancing fish flakes. Katsuoboshi.
You know, they also have dancing octopus in general.
Still alive, those ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Susan Dolan says, "Do you have any pictures of the Tokyo Tower?" I do, Susan. Coming up. Any idea why, except in Attack of the Legion, the Tokyo Tower was destroyed in every Gamera movie? Because Tokyo Tower is a symbol. It's in a district of Tokyo called Roppongi. And Roppongi is very exclusive, very rich. And so it, in my humble opinion, it represents the demise of Tokyo, the destruction of Tokyo. It's a symbol of
Tokyo Tower is also made out of the tanks.
Oh,
It's made out of the old tanks.
I didn't know that.
And so it is often seen as a symbol of peace as well.
So he's declaring war when he destroys it.
Right.
See, this is why I had Tony Stark on this stream specifically for Japan, folks, because I know Tony is a Japanophile.
Weeaboo, but yeah, what? I mean, yes, Japanophile.
So this is, we were talking about the octopus sort of donut balls, and this is the thing that you can buy, and this is octopus balls that you put in the dough, and you put in the little ball things, and you make octopus balls. This is some more food. On the left is the eggs. On the right, that's probably eel or unagi with soy sauce. Unagi means eel. And that is a rice kind of bubble tea kind of soup. It was a chilled cream soup, and I just thought it was really beautiful. And the Japanese, when they serve food, it's artistically beautiful. A lot of their experience. I mean, when I was there, I went to a very fancy bar and with some friends, and they paid for everything, which was nice. And I was poured the most expensive sake in the place, and it consisted of a tall round cup, and then a short fat round cup, and then a square bowl. And they poured the sake into the tall round cup, and all up it was probably 8 ounces. I mean, I don't remember because it was 8 ounces. But it filled up the tall cup and spilled over and then spilled over and filled up the big round cup, and then spilled over and filled up the square.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my sake dish for you, so you guys
Yes,
can actually
please.
see what he's talking about.
And so the point of doing all of this, it was explained to me that you're meant to enjoy the aesthetics of the sake, not only the taste but the visual, the pouring over the sides of the taller glass into the wider, shorter glass cup, and then into the square bowl. And you're supposed to, it's the whole experience. It's the smell, it's the sight, and the taste of the sake. And these are very expensive places. So Japanese are very big on aesthetics. Very big on aesthetics for food presentation, especially. Also, here's a map of Tokyo with the train station. Is that Tokyo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Japan Rail. That's Tokyo. So there you go. That's what we're dealing with for trains, folks. What? Dancing on balls, Lisa? No, there's no dancing on balls. What? Oh, the dancing fish flakes. We're on the taco. I guess they were dancing on balls, actually. They were literally dancing on. I hadn't thought of that. Yep, they were. I guess you're right.
Well, hey, Spider-Man, I can't find it.
Drink sake out of a beer stein. Oh my God, Ray Lucard. Yeah, if you want alcohol poisoning. Yeah, okay, Tony.
I thought I had it in my cupboard. I don't know where I put it.
Oh, you know what?
Sorry about that.
I got something right here.
Yep, there it is. There's the set.
Oh,
Yep.
You got it?
No, I'm looking at yours.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can. Oh, there we go. Okay. So
That's the big decanter. That's the primary. And then you have the tall glass.
yeah, and the kanji I can't really read that well.
Mm-hmm.
But fortunately, they provided some English.
Gekeiken.
Gekeiken. Yes.
Sake of the samurai.
Yes. The sake of the samurai.
Samurai!
So desu. So desu.
Filthy ninjas try to defeat his
And then you have the. Okay, then you put it in this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep,
this
that's the what I got something very similar to that sake bowl. Yep.
one. Yep.
And that's all ceramic too. Another fun fact, that is all
Oh yeah,
100%
it's all
ceramic.
ceramic. Oh
Yep.
man, I'm so pissed off. In Paris, I came back from Osaka to Paris, and I was going on to Canada, and I didn't get them to put it in like a duty free bag, and the guy in the Paris airport, because it wasn't in a fucking duty free bag, escorted me to the bathroom and watched me pour it out. And I said, "Well, can I at least drink some of this?" He said, "No, you can't get on the plane if you've been drinking alcohol." He was a young guy. So fuck me. I had to put. I'm still the Paris. Is that the Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris? I think that's the Charles de Gaulle Airport. Fuck you, Charles de Gaulle.
Nah.
I think that's the airport in Paris, if I recall correctly. Fuck you, Charles de Gaulle. Okay. Oh, and I do have a friend of mine, a Japanese friend, who made this. One of the nurses, actually, who made this for me. And this is pottery that she handmade. So very nice. And she did that on purpose. There's a thumbprint in it.
Well, it's meant to put your thumb there.
It's meant to put my thumb there. Look, how's that? That's awesome, right? All right, folks. Yeah, you don't want to look at me. You want to look at pictures. You're here to see the photos of Japan. Fish flakes. Yes, Lisa. The dancing fish flakes. And they were dancing on balls. Yeah. The debris on the runway brought down a Concorde. Really? Shit. Concords, yes. Oh, boy. If you're younger than 30, you probably don't remember Concords.
Oh,
okay.
Needle nose planes? Yeah.
Those are oysters. Those are seafood shrimp stuffed oysters.
Clams. The mussels, the oysters, the clams.
That's it. Ooh, so this is a koban. So you'll find this all over Japan. In the cities of Japan, you'll find these. They don't have. I mean, I'm sure they do have a giant police station. Fortunately, I didn't go there. But they have these little police kobans, these little police boxes, sort of like England, I guess, and all over Japan. And this is a little police station, koban, little police station, which was kind of cool. If you forget, if this happens, if you are drunk one night and you forget your bag on the train, you go to the police koban police box near the train station the next day, and you explain to them you've lost your bag, and they will find it for you. It's pretty convenient that way. Not that I've ever done that. Ooh, okay.
Says as he has not done any experience whatsoever.
Tony, are you familiar with the Okinawan pancake? It's a noodle pancake and okonomiyaki, and this is it.
Never had it. Looks good though.
Okonomiyaki is an Osaka dish. It's popular, and it's like a pancake batter with noodles and some meat and little green onions in there, and always with the sauces. Japanese are really good with the sauces. This is so good. This is the sashimi, the raw fish, and this is just raw fish sashimi.
Seaweed wraps.
Delicious, absolutely delicious.
Sashimi.
I love sashimi. Absolutely. Okay, so this is a train line in Japan, and guess what hour of the night I had to ride this friggin' thing to get to know
2 a.m.
people on a Japanese train.
2 a.m.
It is. This is the last train of the station, and I've probably got like an hour's walk for wherever I'm headed tonight. But yeah, That's an empty Japanese train. So if you see this, you fucked up.
You either slipped into the back rooms or you're up really, really late.
Yeah, you're up way, way, way late. Oh, okay. So this is the 267 schools in Japan. This is the company that I worked for. And if you can see on the bottom part, this is the rabbit. The company I worked for is Nova English Schools. In the top left corner, you can see Nova. And their mascot, their motto, their mascot was a rabbit. Usagi is Japanese for rabbit, I'm sure you know. So the Nova Usagi was a pink, annoying little friggin' rabbit. And that's
It said, "Go to school."
That's the school that I worked for. 267 schools in Japan, and they were opening one every friggin' month. It was insane.
I believe it.
Oh, what do you know about these? I've got to go to the bathroom just real quick, Tony, but I can still hear you. Do you mind telling me all you know about bullet trains?
Oh, that is a maglev bullet train, and the technology behind these particular pieces of transportation hardware is as intended. It uses a magnetic field that is electrified to become an electromagnet. That is a hovering vehicle. In all intents and purposes, it is hovering between its own weight and the strength of the magnetic field underneath it. And basically, as the train is traversed, it is because the railing of magnetic material is electrically charged to pull the train forward with attraction and to repel the train at the end behind it. The average speed of one of these puppies is approximately 280 miles per hour. That's coasting on a level grade, and you can go between Tokyo and Osaka in, about 2.5 hours. These are very beautiful pieces
Holy
of
shit!
hardware.
How did you know? Wait a minute.
And I would love to one day,
Damn.
take a ride on one of these.
You're exactly right. 2.5 hours, Tony. Holy shit. And now normally, if you drive or take the regular speed rail cars, which go about the same speed as you can drive, about 100 kilometers an hour, that takes 8 hours. 8 hours regular roads, 2.5 by high speed bullet train. Shinkansen is the word in Japanese. I don't know what the translation is, but these trains are called Shinkansen. My pronunciation is terrible. And Tony apparently knows a little bit about them. Oh, more sushi. I have a lot of food pictures tonight, folks. I'm not making apologies for that. So, ooh, gorgeous. This is again in Osaka. This is Osaka's famous castle in Osaka. And that's the bridge leading to
Castle
the castle.
Azumanga.
And that, okay, so here is again at a restaurant, and you just point to whatever food you want. And yeah, absolutely. Faster than a speeding bullet. Train. Yes. Hey, thanks, Admiral Teague. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, they are. Japan, you know what? If you like food, folks, Japan, probably
Japan has
my
two things
number
I
one.
love: food and advanced technology.
Tony, Japan is number one for both of those things in my experience. Okay, so in Osaka, there's the famous tower in Osaka, and there's the famous chef apparently that had his own little statue down there. That's a restaurant. There's the castle in Osaka in the widescreen photo. In reality, this is a straight path.
Yes, but you decided to fisheye lens the damn thing.
That's a fisheye, yes. And that is Osaka G. Osaka Joe. Osaka Castle.
Prince Azumanga once lived at this particular palace. What did he do? Not a whole lot.
Now, can you imagine trying to swim across the moat and scaling those walls to attack that castle? I don't think so, Tim. I don't think so. There's a reason why Osaka was not conquered. I mean, look at the size of those walls. And there's a tour boat. You see the golden roof tour boat there. You
Yes.
can see the golden roof there. You can take the tour boat all along the what do you call the wall? The moat. All in front of
The
the moat.
moat.
I almost said dike, but I didn't want to upset anyone.
That's okay. My commentary with the Nelson laugh should have done that for you.
Nelson laugh was perfect, man. So look at the size of those walls. And again, Japan in the fall. This was October, folks. Highly recommend October for Osaka. And there's the castle.
Oh,
Osaka
God.
Joe. Joe means castle, I guess.
I want to throw a beer can from the parapet of that particular part of the palace.
Okay, so there's the view of Osaka from up top. And you can get right up close and personal.
Mm-hmm. Definitely gilded, covered in gold. Yes.
Again,
Gilded.
yes.
Gold.
Yeah, agreed, Lisa.
Jules likes the gilded.
Yep. And that's probably real gold.
No, it is real gold.
Yeah, there's no way. The Japanese aren't fake. Say what you want. Fake doesn't really describe them. Oh yeah, okay, so that's a giant upside down fish with its tail splayed.
Yeah, it's a carp
in front of us.
Yeah,
a carp. Yes, that is a golden carp upside down. And there is Osaka, folks. If you want to know what Osaka looks like, that is the city of Osaka. With the temple grounds. See, anywhere where there's lots of trees and public forest, that's a temple ground area.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ray Lucard has a solution to conquering Osaka Joe.
That can handle the Great Wall of China. That cannot handle Osaka Joe.
Wow, yes. Well, shit, Ray Lucard, do you know how long it took them to build those walls? Don't tell them that. You're gonna really upset them. Pole vault. Thanks, Ray. That's awesome. So yeah, here we go. I stayed around. I was told to stay until night. Someone tipped me off at the hostel I was staying at. Just stay till night, and that's the shot you get. It was worth it. So that is Osaka Joe, Osaka Castle. And Osaka has a famous shopping district that's all not all of it, but this part's undercover. It's an arcade, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
The Dotonbori Shopping Arcade in Osaka. And this girl is making food late at night. Grilled skewers of meat. We have shrimp.
We like meat around these pots. Meat.
Yeah, we like meat. So that's her job. And the window. See, all the chefs in well, not all, but a lot of the chefs in Japan, I noticed, operated in front of glass windows where the patrons can see them. So you go down this shopping arcade, and you see her out, and that's in the front of the shop, and you see what she's doing. You see, oh, those look good. I'll go have some of those. So again, lots of people. It's a huge shopping district. Osaka was magnificent. I liked Osaka. Although I couldn't, like, looking at this, I can read like 2% of that. So you're literally illiterate, which is, I understand those people in Canada that haven't learned to read. I feel for you. That's
Ray Lucard has taken some notes out of the Sir Lancelot book of infiltration. I highly doubt they will be successful here, but I'm glad that you are creative.
Man, Ray Lucard, the door's always open, man. If you want to come have a beer, I like your style. That's awesome. Oh, and Susan Dolan says, "Come on, dude, Ray Lucard, even Ninja Turtles would have real problems
Well,
trying to scale those castles.
That's a good segue into what ninja really were. Ninja were the oppressed lower classes who
Mm-hmm.
had to
Yes,
learn how to use farming tools and common sense to handle the literal walking tanks that were samurai.
Mm-hmm. Literal walking tanks. Yep. You're not wrong. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm. Well, that was my point. We're here
No,
to see the
thanks
pretty pictures, not have a history lesson. I just wanted to make a
no,
good
no.
point.
That's thanks for your input. You're exactly the person that I wanted to have here. You're exactly the person for Japan. と、日本語が話せますよ。You speak Japanese?
日本語はしています。はい。
はい。
人生ら口てる日本語。ごめんなさい。
大丈夫、大丈夫。ごめん means excuse me, and 大丈夫 means it's okay. So there's a giant crab. So you see the giant crab on the building there. That is a famous site in Osaka. It's a famous
crab!
An Alaskan snow crab.
It's a seafood restaurant.
He's a snow
And
crab.
again, with the sushi. Love the sushi. With the soy sauce.
Da
sort of
fish.
boiled down soy sauce.
Da delicious fish.
Tuna and salmon. And here again with the ramen noodles. Again, this looks like a salt ramen with the bamboo rectangle brown
Onions.
and the mushrooms. The dark brown looks like mushrooms, and the green onion, and the soy sauce soaked eggs, which I love those ramen eggs.
Ramen eggs are the bee's knees.
Hey, do you recognize this guy?
Men in Black ad.
Well, is it though? Look carefully, my friend.
That's
That is
not
Tommy
James
Lee
Earl
Jones.
Jones. That's not
That
Tommy
is
Lee
Tommy
Jones.
Lee Jones.
Yeah,
But
I said it. Men in Black ad. I thought not James Earl Jones. Tommy Lee Jones. I thought it was a Men in Black ad.
No, it is Tommy Lee Jones, but on the left, that is Watanabe Ken. Or Ken Watanabe, if you want to use English. And Ken Watanabe was in The Last Samurai. He was the one that taught Tom Cruise. He was the foil to Tom Cruise, the antagonist to Tom Cruise. Is Watanabe Ken Watanabe, and that's him on the left. That is Tommy Lee Jones on the right, and they are selling coffee. It is Boss Coffee. So, of the four symbols you see in front of you, the four yellow symbols, it's primu, priru, basu. So premium boss. Boss coffee, like I'm the boss, you're the boss, I'm the boss. Boss. And Tommy Lee Jones is a very authoritative figure. He's the boss kind of figure. So is Watanabe Ken. They are boss kind of guys. So if you want to be a boss, you drink Boss coffee. Premium boss, primu basu.
Well, they always want to play to those poor kids and that are in middle management that'll never see the top of whatever office building they're working at, despite their efforts.
Yeah,
that's part of that ad campaign. That's kind of sleazy, but it works. It sells coffee.
You drink the Boss coffee, and you'll be a boss. Oh, okay. Again, and all this food that's on display at restaurants, this is all plastic, and they've got the prices in front of them in yen. So 100 yen is or 100 yen is about $1 American. So if you see a price for 690 yen, it's $6.90 American, or at least it was 20 years ago. So here's a gambling pachinko parlor. If you like gambling, if you like pachinko, come to Japan. How's that, man? The noise, Tony.
I bet it's like ding 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 ding.
Unbelievable. Not Wilson.
Tick, 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 tick.
Poor Will Smith. No one wants him anymore. No, because he's
No kidding. No. You
He's
think?
also in memoirs. Yeah, haven't thought about Last Samurai for a while. I really like that film. William Shakespeare. I was there just after Last Samurai, and I'm about the same height as Tom Cruise. And I tell you, it was a good time to be in Japan. Let me tell you, if you knew The Last Samurai, it was a good time. It was a good film. Are they remaking Shogun? I've read the book. I haven't seen the movie, although I know it's starring Richard Chamberlain. The movie was good. It won Oscars. The book was fantastic. I have heard they're remaking Shogun, and I hope they don't. I have heard that.
Memoirs of
He
a
was
Geisha.
also in Memoirs of a Geisha and in the first two legendary Godzilla movies. Okay, good to know.
And pachinko machines all tuned into the key of C. I think so.
That's from a movie, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. No, that is from a movie.
C is a comfort note. C is a bass note for all notes to expand or deviate from. C is widely accepted as a note that if you heard it in ambience, it isn't going to fuck with you as higher or lower notes would.
So that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Moving on. So again, Tony, here's a menu, and you can see that there is English. This is a sushi place. And there is English beneath the Japanese. So
I want
don't
a
be intimidated.
shrimp. Is
I
a
know.
shrimp sashimi.
I love sushi. Man, I could eat all of those times 2.
I want a
Everything
little
on that
rice
menu.
box underneath the shrimp.
I mean, I'd be struggling, but I'd do it. Yes, Tony is correct. A fake. This tuning is for the customer's comfort. Okay, we have an ergonomics student in the house, folks. So what does A minor means? A minor means you shit yourself.
Oh my god, A minor is not the brown note.
Shogun TV series debuts this year on Channel FX. Trailer looks really good. Well, that's okay. So that's promising. That's promising, William. That's okay. Okay, so are you familiar with this type of restaurant, Tony? Where it goes around in a conveyor belt?
This is one of those where the food goes down the rack. It's like a train.
Yep,
right?
Yep. The kaiten. It's called kaiten sushi,
Mm-hmm.
and I think kaiten means conveyor belt, as far as I can figure out. And it just moves around, and the chefs sit in the middle, and they make all the stuff. And
whenever anybody gets what they want, they replace it.
Exactly. Yep. And you count how many plates are piled up beside you at the end of the evening, and that's how much you pay. Now, different colored plates are a different price. So the black plates might be a certain price, and the red plates might be a different price. So at the end of your meal, they come and they count up the different plates for the different colors, and that's what you pay. So I found that to be. I love kaiten sushi, the conveyor belt sushi. I really enjoy the kaiten sushi. Fabulous. And some of them have conveyor belts. And one of the places I went to, Tony, had like a moat, like with water.
Oh, it had a moat. Oh, those are nice.
Going around, and like they had fucking little boats.
Fish boats. Yep. Fish boats.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yep. Fantastic. Exactly, Susan Dolan. Yes. Conveyor belt sushi. Kaiten sushi. Yeah. But you know what? They were making it fresh in front of you. Like, do you like sushi that was just made a minute ago? And you know, it doesn't get more fresh than that. So here again is as one of the local temples, and with the shrines with the incense coming out. And that's a big bronze incense burner, probably weighs 4 tons. Ooh, this is where Commander Perry landed in Japan on the east coast, in the southern east coast of Japan. Izuhanto. Absolutely gorgeous. And just despite all the buildings and despite Tokyo, there really are some beautiful natural spots in Japan.
Well, there's some beautiful vistas. You just got to know where to look.
Although, again, do you notice through the river, all the concrete walls, the fortifications with the concrete on the sides of the river
And some of
banks?
those stones are put in there too to regulate water flow as well that are closer in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Rayla Card says maybe I can get the Smilodons to Japan. They love fish.
Smilodons. That is a
Smilodon.
dinosaur.
Oh. No, it smiles?
It's an underwater dinosaur.
I'm
It's like
gonna have
Nessie.
to Google
It's
that
like
as soon as
Nessie,
it's
I think. I think it's like Nessie.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Some of these sushi places will have toy machines where you can win a toy when you put your plates in a return slot. Oh, I didn't come across those, but sounds fun, Susan. Yep, that sounds fun. Okay. So yeah, I'm pretty
Hershey
happy there.
bar.
That's 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 self-explanatory, folks. I don't even need
The
to
Hershey
comment.
bar. That's a Hershey
That's-
bar.
I'm friggin' in well, Meiji is the Japanese equivalent of Hershey.
Of
Yes.
Hershey. Yeah.
Yeah. The Meiji is the number one, as far as I know, the number one chocolate brand in Japan.
Smilodon is the Latin name for a saber-toothed tiger. I totally missed that, Mark.
Oh.
And what
really?
was the name of the Nessie dinosaurs? Now I'm curious. Hold on.
Well, that makes the saber. Okay. Right. Right.
Plesiosaur. Nessie would be a plesiosaur, a large aquatic dinosaur that went extinct over 66 million years ago. Okay. Whoops, my bad.
No, that's okay. Oh shit! See, it cropped this photo too. But my job there was teaching English when I was in Japan. And can you read the English? I mean, you can only see half of it, but can you read the English sign?
Let's
above?
shopping. It's let's shopping. Yeah.
Yep, that's what it says.
Instead of let's go shopping, it's
Nope.
let's shopping.
That's right. So that's what I was dealing with, folks. Let's shopping. Yep. Son of a.
We'll try
I had
happy
my
versus try to be happy.
Yep, I had my work cut out for me. Oh, okay. So, Tony, do you see the red sign up top there and the yellow square on the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
So, guess what? Looking at the red and noticing the symbol right in the middle of that sign, that is a very prominent, obvious symbol for fire. What's
it's fire hydrant
yellow
line.
That's a fire hydrant. Yep. Yes, sir. Folks, beneath that yellow square is a fire hydrant. Why
They don't put
it
their
in the sidewalk like that?
No, well, I
If
mean,
know.
so that people don't accidentally drive into a fire hydrant and break the pipe.
Well, it's on the sidewalk though. But I guess
people
it's
get
'cause it's in
drunk
the middle of a
everywhere on
crosswalk.
planet Earth.
Oh, look, it's in the middle of a crosswalk. That's
Yeah.
why. Oh, so it's an underground fire hydrant, folks.
Yeah.
You don't
This
see that in
keeps
Canada.
That keeps them from breaking the pipe.
You don't
Like
see
whenever
that
the
in
tsunami
Canada.
hit that took out Fukushima, the reason
Right.
why water was coming up from under the ground was because that was the pipes breaking.
Yep. Well, that's what happens. Oh, and this is a fire hydrant, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
And in Japan, they have a red light on.
Yeah, they want
Apparently
you to
it's
know
always on.
that it's there. Yeah.
Why don't they have this if America's the number one country in the world? Why don't you? Have
America
lights on
has
your fire hydrants.
I love America. I'm a patriot. I love everything about my country.
I love America too.
But economically and our infrastructure, the reason why it's still somewhat functional, I'll be a little bit more poor now, is because it is an infrastructure that we've used to death. We have wide open spaces that we have yet to populate. The reason why the Japanese are so efficient is, like I said before, they have only so many square miles of landmass.
That's true.
They have to be as efficient as possible. They
possible
don't have
as possible.
wide open spaces where they can run gas lines, oil lines, or
And
put
lights
massive
on top of their fire
agricultural
hydrants.
farms and stuff. Like, costs going into this part of an
Tony.
infrastructure to another.
When I was a kid, I had friends that worked at gas stations. Did you ever work at a gas station or had friends that worked at a gas station pumping gas?
Well, from the looks of it, that's one of the robotic gas stations they got.
Not robotic, but they moved the pumps suspended from the ceiling so that the drivers can't run into them. Those are gas hoses.
I know there's a couple of robotic stations though in Japan.
Not this.
Fully
This
autonomous.
was. Don't forget, this was 2004. Tony.
Oh,
So
okay.
This was 20 years ago, buddy. Those are.
So yeah, basically they ran those gas lines up and over and through the building, through the walls.
So tell me there's not a stereotype for Japanese bad driving because they put the pumps on the ceiling.
You gotta love the Japanese.
Tell me your country has bad drivers without telling me your country has bad drivers.
They have great soups, but they're lousy drivers.
Signs of going hell, folks.
Fish McDippers.
No, he was at a Mickey D's. Look at you.
Because they had Fish McDippers with wasabi sauce. In my left hand is wasabi.
I'm going to McDonald's. You literally in one of the most culinarily elegant places on Holy Terra, and you stopping at a Mickey D's.
Fish McDippers, Tony. Fish McDippers.
You can't take the North Americaner out of the man, but you could definitely take the man out of North America.
So do idiots still drive off with the hose in the car? Yes, Susan Dolan.
Yes, they do. That was one of the reasons why those things that haven't really stuck around. And now a lot of the gas stations are just robotic.
Oh, what do you think that is, Tony?
That is parking stick.
Bookshelf style car parking. That's right.
You drive vehicle into lift lifts vehicle up to main level, so more vehicles can then be put into the vehicle.
Yeah, and I've seen some that go in underground. Like you walk and it's like an empty parking lot. It's like this parking lot's empty. All the cars are underground and they raise up like 5 stories high from underground. It's crazy.
It is big slot. Brigadier Honor. Hey.
Well, I know he is fire. Hey. And photo is sashin. I do know that. These photos are amazing. Kono sashin sugoi desu.
Hey.
So I took this. This is just to show that kimonos are normal. Like it's a formal.
It's a formal wear, but it's also casual wear.
But it's the everyday life in Japan, exactly. Oh, and that's a giant dragon statue. And
is that a dragon or a hound?
Well, it could be a hound. I'm not
Looks
sure.
like a hound.
It truncated that photo, sadly. Okay, so in Japan, bathhouses are it's a cultural thing. It's like Turkish bathhouses. The Japanese onsen, they're called onsen, are made normally from natural hot springs. They're built in volcanic areas, And this was one spot that I visited in the Dogoshima area where Commander Perry with the black ships came in the southern south of Tokyo, southern Japan. And I stayed at this, and you stay overnight, and it's like a hotel built around this hot spring essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fantastic. And there's a men's side and a women's side. They are segregated. And you go and you sit on those little white stools and you wash yourself before you get into the bathwater, which makes sense. And there you go. There's another little view of the Japanese bathhouse with the real
and the
hot
happy
springs.
monkeys.
Oh, there's a happy monkey eating sushi. So it's a hotel, and it's centered around these hot springs. But it is a very traditional style hotel, and they're all over Japan, where you have traditional meals, and you have the paper doors, and you sleep on the floor, and you have your meals there. And there's the bedding in behind. There's the bedroom in behind the paper doors, and here's your meals on the door there. And there is Osaka, crowded pedestrian walkway in Osaka.
There's your pedestrian stop lights.
How does that work if my car's on top? So it goes down, Lisa.
It slots down into
the
ground.
into the ground. They've dug down like 3 positions down into the ground, so it will lower them down into the ground. Is that a food dog?
The food dog. Yeah, hound. Yeah, food dog.
I wasn't sure of the context. That's why I use flames instead of fire.
Fire.
Oh.
Fire. And yes, those are pedestrian traffic lights.
Yep, they are. Okay, so this is a festival in the summer, and for some reason, the guys wear G-strings, I guess you want to call them G-strings. Here's an interesting note, Tony. G-strings that we would recognize here, called G-strings, the same thing in Japan is called a T-back, because it's a T-back.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It looks like a T. It's a T-back. That's what they call a G-string. It's a T-back. I don't know why. It's traditional costume. These guys, they are wearing pants, like underwear. They're not wearing pants. They are wearing underwear.
Yeah, they don't have their dicks out.
They don't have their dicks out. But this is normal during festivals. And this is a giant festival in Abiko, where I lived. And a giant summertime festival. Summertime in Japan is full of festivals. And with men wearing G-strings. Okay, so this is Kyoto. This is Kiyomizu-dera temple in Kyoto. Kyoto's on the west coast of Japan.
Kyoto has some of the best mountains, by the way, folks, and some of the best rolling
gorgeous
farmland.
mountains, gorgeous temples,
gorgeous steps.
Ooh, and I met this fella. He was nice, friendly. And there's inside, you see all the tatami mat, the fiber mats that they lay down. They're individually made. And so that way, if one of them gets damaged, they can just pull it up and put down a new one. A tea bag, no, a tea back. Well, they call it a tea back in Japan. A G-string is called a tea
B-A-C-K.
Yeah.
Back.
No, you should. No, you don't.
No, I
I'm
get the
never gonna get monitored.
connotation.
You can say whatever the fuck
I get
you
his
want on
joke.
this channel.
It's a joke. I get it, Ray. It's a joke. Because,
And so this, again, temple grounds in Kyoto, gorgeous temples, massive temples.
Oh.
And how's that for a train line coming into Kyoto?
Oh, yeah. Traditional rails. Oh, look what I got here. Now I have a kitten.
This is the temple in my neighborhood around the corner from where I lived, and this is the
Oh, that's
first snowfall.
gorgeous.
First snowfall in the temple with a carved lion near where, right around the corner from my house. Susan Dolan says, there's a Japanese kid that has a channel and he went to an outdoor sumo match during a festival. Now that will be fun. And I do have some photos of sumos coming up, actually. So there's my room in Japan. The ladder on the left leads up to the loft. That's where my roommate slept. Small loft. And so my roommate, he's an American Hawaiian fella. I love, named Taro. Taro, he's half Japanese. Taro is a Japanese name. He taught me a lot of Japanese. Love you, Taro. You're awesome. And his room was on the loft up top of this ladder, Tony. Now that's our room. The kitchen, I'm in the kitchen. Now, where do you think I slept?
On the floor behind that ladder.
Uh-huh. And when the 200-pound man came down to use the bathroom at night, I just prayed he didn't slip. Yep. That's what that was like.
Sounds fun.
Okay, so there's that same in my neighborhood.
That is a hound. That is a Sioux dog.
And this is fall.
Guardians, protectors.
Guardians, exactly, Tony. Definitely guardians. And there's that same temple in the fall, in the first snowfall of winter there. Japan is gorgeous, Tony.
That's gorgeous.
That temple area, it's hundreds of years old. I don't know how old, hundreds of years old.
Well, Japan goes back to very much like
a graveyard.
I mean, they were a Bronze Age civilization, so post-classical era, very ancient civilization, very traditional civilization, and they excelled with a navy that was to be respected and revered. China knew better than to mess with the Japanese Navy.
Yep, they learned. William Shakespeare says to you, slow burner there. That's what you get when I'm still up at 2:30 a.m. Also, I need this emoji to close out this bit. Oh yeah, Japan needs like nights and nights and nights, Tony. Like, holy shit. This could be a two-parter. And there you go. That's some fish for sale. There you go, in the local market. And here you go, Kyoto. This is Kyoto, very popular amongst the Japanese. Again,
very popular tourist attraction as well.
Yep. And again,
it's got that traditional Japanese look.
Yep.
A lot of tourists are looking for.
So this is Osaka, and this is mixed in with the temple next to my house in Tokyo. But you see the giant bell, and the giant bell, and then the big
gongyo bell
log that they use to bang it, to gong it with. And they do that.
That's a gongyo bell.
It is, and in New Year's Eve, they ring that. I want to say 121 or 127 times to chase off the evil spirits. Yeah, fantastic. There you go.
That's gorgeous.
If that was in Canada, it would be stolen, and there was You can walk into this temple. This is around the corner of my neighborhood. You can walk in anytime, any day, any night. Walk in and just look at. And I just sat there in the snow, Tony. Like, how tranquil does that look? Just sitting there, and there's no people around. It's just me. I couldn't believe it. In Japan, it's just me. So there were occasional spots where you could get some tranquility. And it's usually at these shrines, at these temple spots. And
That's what
the
they were there
entrance to
for.
this spot was just like a narrow pathway. I didn't even know it was there. I just wandered down a path, an alleyway, and boom, here it was.
Hej då, Zemas. Deadman Walking 55.
Deadman Walking! Good morning to you, Deadman Walking. Arukimasu is walking in Japanese. Arukimasu. I am walking.
Deadman Walking 55.
Arukimasu shimasu. There, I mean that's what around the corner from my house, Tony. I mean, if you really want to get perspective on life, and you're in a foreign country, you're far away from your family, you don't know what's going on, the currency's foreign, the food's foreign, you can't really read. You go here and you just sit and think for a while. You just look and this property's been here for hundreds of years. Canada does this. What I'm looking at is older than Canada.
Put you in
Older
perspective.
than America, really.
Human condition.
That's right.
Time is fleeting. Time is temporary.
It is. So this is Kamakura Fire Festival. Do you see these crazy drunk bastards carrying a giant torch on their backs that's on fire, parading
They're
through
about to
town?
light. They're about to light something.
Yeah, this is north of Osaka, and it takes place in the fall. I want to say September. The Kamakura Fire Festival. And these guys are insane. Oh, and that's
The Tengu!
the symbols. He's an Oni. He's a devil, a Japanese
He's
devil.
a Tengu. That's a Tengu.
He's a Tengu. Yep, that's right, the Tengu. And it's a symbol of this Kamakura Fire Festival.
Yeah, he's the. That's what's to be burned.
Yeah. Oh, they're chasing away the devils. Yes.
Yes.
So there's a lot of fire, and they carry these giant 200-pound torches or 150-pound torches. There's two guys carrying them, and the guy on the back gets the shit burned out of them. I mean, I don't know if you can see, Tony, but they're not wearing a lot
I
of
can
clothes.
see.
They're not wearing a lot of clothes. I mean, that's more man that I want to look at.
Now they're getting first degree, sometimes second degree burns because
But that's
they're packing that for a good mile.
That's all the way into town to where the giant bonfire is. I mean, these guys. I mean, you think of the feminine Japanese guys. No, these guys are fucking tough, macho Clint Eastwood motherfuckers. And that's the bonfire at the end of. That's where they were carrying them. It's a bit blurry. My apologies, but can you see the scale?
Yeah, that's a fucking fire festival.
That's a 3 or 4 story fire.
Yep. Controlled bonfire in the middle of town.
It's in the middle of town, Tony. In the middle of Kamakura.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the middle of town.
Northwest of Osaka.
It is again a testament to just how much care is taken so that they don't accidentally burn their city down.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big fucking fire.
Well, Canadian Spider-Man, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but while your bonfire streams are great, I think you could do better.
Yeah, no kidding. Holy shit. Wow.
I had to. I was low-hanging fruit, but it was there. It presented itself.
This is just from Kyoto. Kyoto's gorgeous, Tony. Just gorgeous.
Oh yeah, that's the one spot I want to go. Kyoto and Iowa. That order. Then I'll see the rest.
I mean, the Japanese rock gardens as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, That's the poisonous fish that if you eat it, it will kill you. The fugu.
Is a puffer fish.
The puffer fish. Yeah, that was in a restaurant. I did not order that.
There is poison. There is poison. There is poison. Then there is tasty fish.
And there's tasty fish. So I don't want to eat the poison, but I want to eat really close to the poison. Are you
It takes
fucking
it takes
crazy?
it's like you have to be like a like epic level chef to
Do
know
you know
the
how many
exact
other
cuts.
fish there are?
The exact cuts.
You don't need to eat this fish.
Yes.
There's other fish. Yeah, Tony.
Fugu,
you're right.
yes.
I was talking. Apparently, it's 7 years training before you even get to fucking touch the fish as the chef. 7 years training before you get to touch the fugu, the blowfish, the pufferfish. I believe it.
That's what I was quoting. Tiger Stripes. Poison.
Hey, Tiger Stripes is here.
Poison. Poison. Tasty fish.
Oh, that's what you were. Oh. I did see that episode. That was funny. That was funny. Yes, that's a fugu. That's exactly Tiger Stripes. That's a fugu right there. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, Lisa and Tiger Stripes. Yeah, I did not tempt fate. No. Okay, so again with the rock guards and the cementing, just gorgeous in Kyoto. Gorgeous temples, like if Walt Disney World had a Japanese theme, that would be what Kyoto is.
Oh yeah. It was a great episode, William Shakespeare, because it started off very lighthearted, and ended up becoming one of the, saddest, most reflective Simpsons episodes of the early seasons and the good years, great years.
Yep, agreed. Yep, agreed, Tony.
Mm-hmm. If you're presented with a situation where you know you are going to die, what do you do?
Some Japanese school friends in uniform that I met there. And here's so just down from the mountains in Kamakura, there's a festival that celebrates the traditions and the old ways of Japan. The Daiji Matsuri, the old timers festivals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's Kinkakuji. Kin meaning gold. Kin means gold. So Kinkakuji, the golden temple in Kyoto.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the Kinkakuji is possibly one of them up there with Osaka Castle, Osaka-jo, which we just looked at about a half an hour ago or an hour ago. Yeah, that's Kinkakuji. That's the golden temple of Kyoto.
I'm seeing the chat is collectively beginning to head back out. Dad Man Walking is going back to bed.
Yep. Good night. Good night.
I am on the argument that we do make this a two-parter. How far are you into your photo book?
No, we've probably got we've got a few photos left, Tony. So why don't we wrap it up here and we'll continue this.
Mm-hmm.
School friends, Canadian Spider-Man. Where are we in school in Japan? No. They were in school. I was a teacher. I taught English. I was not in school in Japan.
Yeah, you and Ferminit do the same thing, I think.
Why don't we wrap it up on Kinkakuji, on the Golden Temple of Kyoto? Because Japan's just too big. I mean, I showed you, Tony. I'm pretty sure that the size of the lonely planet Japan is one of the thickest lonely planets I own. So
Oh,
this
yeah.
could easily be a two-parter. I mean,
Oh
that's
yeah,
massive.
definitely.
So yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think that's definitely a good idea. We'll wrap it up on the Golden Temple, the Kin meaning gold, Kinkakuji, in Kyoto. Kyoto, definitely a beautiful town. Tiger Stripes says you went by too fast on that parade horseman photo. More info, please. What parade and why? Oh,
We can go back and wrap that up. We
okay,
got 13
sure.
minutes if you want to make this
Yeah.
a 3 hour long. Yeah, well, that's a good way
Yeah,
to.
we could do that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, oh, this guy. All right. So this is Yep. It's an old. It's Daiji means old. Daiji Festival. It south of Kamakura, and it's a festival where they have a parade. Basically, it consists of a parade, and they have costumes, period costumes of all the different eras and centuries throughout the history of the town. And they have fishermen and they have farmers and they have all kinds of costumes coming in on horseback. A lot of them are on horseback, not all of them. And they just have a giant parade. It was like 2 hours or more, 2.5 hours. Yeah, in the Osaka area. Um, yeah, the Kurama Mountain area, Kurama, Kurama area, and this is the Daiji Festival, the olden days festival, and just absolutely gorgeous costumes, and it's a parade basically, it's a giant parade showing all the costumes.
I think he's just a thumbs up, but it may not be.
Does his gesture mean anything specific? Whose gesture?
The horseman.
I don't think so.
I think it's just a thumbs up.
I think it's just a thumb. Okay, it looks like he's wearing lanterns on it. Oh my god, I didn't see that till now. All right, he's not wearing lanterns on his head.
His hat has a black round top on it, and the lanterns of the streetlight just perfectly line up by coincidence.
No, that's not. Yeah.
His head. So
he's not wearing lanterns, folks.
On his head. That's the streetlight that's just happens to be directly behind his head. That's funny. I didn't notice that before. Lantern head. From now on, you shall be known as Lantern Head. Yes, absolutely gorgeous city, folks. Kyoto. Oh, okay. So here's a game. At the temple, at temples around Japan, you cleanse yourself with the water, the spiritual water, the holy water, the cleansing water, and with the dragon spouting out the water, and these two lovely girls that were more than happy to pose for my photos. Because I'm like, well, if you're a Western guy, I mean,
Gaijin dono.
You're a Gaijin. That's right. Gaijin is Western guy. Ah, that's yes. Okay. I believe that to be true, Tiger Stripes. I'm not a historian officially, but I believe that to be true. Yes, the samurai rode the horses historically. And at one time, it was only the samurai that were allowed to have weapons. So the monks in the land would carry this giant shakuhachi, which is, it looks like an Australian didgeridoo, kind of, but it was used as a club. It was a specifically a wind instrument, but it was smaller than a didgeridoo, so you could use it as a staff. But it was a musical instrument, and that's how they were allowed to get away with using it. Because originally, yes, only samurai were allowed horses, and I believe only samurai were allowed weapons. Susan Dolan, do you mind reading this, Tony, please?
Do you have photos of the sawing off of the deer buck antlers festival? They rope the bucks, saw off the antlers, and give the buck a drink of sake to apologize for the humiliation.
I don't. No, I've not heard of that. That sounds fun. Is Japan largely Buddhist? Yes. Well, Shinto, and it's a
Shintoist.
mix. Shinto and Buddhist, but their marriage ceremonies are Catholic.
But then there's also the Daishonism, like I had mentioned earlier, like the Daishonism Buddhism, which is very much a minor.
They take elements of everything and just incorporate it into their culture. They take the best elements of everything, really. But yes, Buddhist in philosophy, yeah, and Shinto, yeah. Oh, there we go. There's a handsome fellow there in front of Kyoto's. I want to say that's Kiyomizu-dera, the water temple. I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and it has a great view. You can go on the balcony there, overlooking the giant forests of Kyoto. Absolutely fantastic there. And again, the golden palace of Kinkakuji. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, what's not to like about a temple? I mean, this just looks. And they, you know what, Tony? The Japanese managed to somehow incorporate the natural the surroundings with the temples. You know, the
temple is a place of, you know, most temples are not, or most temples, when you hear the word temple or shrine, it's a place of worship for us Westerners, for Asian and Eastern theologies and philosophies. It's very much more a place of self-reflection, meditation, and you know, serenity. And it's supposed to return to the basis form of nature, the bare necessities, if you will. It's much more symbolic and venerated than it is for, you know, like whenever we build a church or church house or cathedral or anything of the sort. Eastern philosophies are very much inner. They look inward instead of seeking value that is outward. They look inside. They turn their gaze inward.
They do what to their gaze?
They turn their gaze inward.
Ah.
Low-hanging fruit, sir. Low-hanging fruit.
That was, sorry. That's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tiger stripes, as far as I know. Shinto, I believe it's more animistic than Buddhism. I could be wrong, but I believe it pays more homage to the animal, the nature, the natural
Shakyamuni Buddha, the Bodhi tree, the path to enlightenment. That is the traditional Zen Buddhism. Or Shintoism is very much anchored in the natural and what is observed.
Right. Yes.
More than the standard planes of enlightenment, planes of existence kind of format. So it's a little bit, it's much more spiritual as well. Shintoism is a lot more spiritual than
Buddhist.
Buddhism, Zen Buddhism.
More meditation, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Well, my good friend, this has been very polytheistic and animalistic religion. Yes, it's technically the state religion, according to Susan Dolan. Well, Canadian Spider-Man, we're wrapping up on the hour, my friend. If you wanna continue, you can, but I too will be heading to bed. I humbly request that we continue this together,
Right.
because
Oh no,
and
100%. Let's do
I
it
would
next
love to
Thursday.
get fermented in on one of these, man. The three of us.
Yep. Let
Be really.
let's continue next.
Ganbaru, make it happen. Ganbaru.
Yeah, Gambaru. Yeah, let's do it. Well, they are. Well, yeah. Shinto and Buddhism. That's it's complicated. The Japanese, from what I observe, and I'm certainly no expert. I haven't spent years and years and years there. The Japanese take the best parts of different things and mix them and combine them and use them to their benefit. And I have no doubt that they mix Shinto and Buddhism in their practice. I have no doubt. They are different religions, but the Japanese are really good at mixing things, you know. Anyway, Tony, yeah, what are you doing this next week? What's on with you?
Let me try and make this brief since we have like 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I will have my after Friday Night Frolics variety show start Saturday matinee. Saturday, speaking of fermented, I will be with fermented on the latter half of his show, so around 5 p.m. Eastern Standard. He's starting it at 4, however, talking Star Wars and New Hope in specific. And then on Sunday, I will be having a Tower After Hours interview with Jedi Bill.
Okay.
And then for President's Day on Monday, just to shake my fist at YouTube to get my last 12 hours I need for monetization, I will be hosting a very much midnight to midnight, 12-hour long mega stream that I am still working out the outline for the schedule for. But I plan on doing some Skyrim catch up for Avengers Skyrim, a couple of karaoke hours, some variety hours, some chill stream moments. So big Stark party on President's Day from 4 to 4. And that's about it.
Well, when's President's Day?
Monday.
When's President's Day?
Monday.
This Monday?
Yes. 4 days from now, or 3.
Yeah. I'll be damned. Okay. Yeah. All right. Great. Well, thanks for taking the time to be with us here, Tony. I appreciate it. And yeah, if you're available next Thursday, let's continue.
To answer your question, Tiger Stripes, Fermented Cinema is a channel who is based in Japan that does movie reviews. He's very funny, and he has never, at least to my knowledge, ever done a video or a stream inebriated. In fact, for him, it will be early in the morning, will therefore be the antithesis of drinking.
Yes.
As I have stated before, and I have said it again, I have given up drinking completely while I am on the air at any given point, at any given time, whether I'm guesting on a show or hosting one. Thank you.
Yes. Yep. Good for you, man. All right. Well,
are you doing
Susan
anything?
Dolan
Are you
says,
gonna? Do you want to hang out with me at some point during the big marathon party? I mean,
oh, I'd love to, Tony. Absolutely. Ask Shogo. Yes, I've heard of Ask Shogo. He's really good at explaining Japanese culture. Yeah, I've heard of Ask Shogo. I think I've seen some of his. Yeah, absolutely. Ask Shogo. Good. All right. Well, good night.
In fact, let's go ahead and link him because he is growing along. Yeah, I'm going to get Fermented Cinema's link right now.
Okay. Oh yes. Absolutely. Yeah, please go ahead.
Because he is growing alongside me. We've kind of trekked this road together, and he has just now reached over his 500 subscribers. He's currently at 508.
Nice. Okay. 508. Wow, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
It's really impressive.
Very talented, very funny guy. I think you'll like him,
Good
Tiger.
for him.
All right. Well, what are you doing, Canadian Spider-Man? Are we wrapping
Nope,
it
we're
up?
done. No, I'm just wrapping up with a nice
View.
shot
Okay.
of.
I noticed your slideshow was having a bit of an error.
Yeah,
earlier.
it got stuck on this last photo here, but I think it's okay now. No, it's
No, there
having
it
trouble.
goes.
It's a big file. Yeah.
Mhm.
But anyway, Tony,
Could
thanks
be
for
a
being
duck
here.
death issue. Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Maybe-
I was happy to hang out. Arigato.
Arigato
We
gozaimasu.
will continue this. Let me guess. Next Thursday, same time.
Next Thursday, Mo Ikai. One more
Hey.
time. Mo Ikai. Yeah,
What
one
a guy.
more time
Hey.
next Thursday.
Onaji.
Onaji Jikan. The same time. Onaji Jikan. Same time. Yep.
You bet. All right.
Perfect.
Johnny.
Thanks for me. Japan. Johnny, see you next time, folks. Japan is such a big country. It's hard to do in one stream. So, okay, there you go. There's Fermented Cinema. We definitely want to promote. He's a friend of the channels. Absolutely. He's talented. Thanks for being here, folks.
Mhm.
Thanks, Lisa. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you enjoyed a little taste of Japan. We've got more. Japan's such a big country with so much. We're
Mhm.
going to have to do it in 2 live streams. I kind of, you know what, Tony? I kind of suspected this might happen. I'm not
Mhm.
surprised that this will be 2 streams. It's a big country,
neither.
and there's a lot of culture. It's fucking Japan, man.
You bet.
Good night, everyone. Thanks, Tony.
Hey, no probs.
See you next Thursday.
You bet. See you Monday.
Yes. See you on Monday.
I'll see you at Doomcocks.